How's it going today, ladies and gentlemen? It is that one guy back at it again with the lovely friends, the Chaos Crew, I don't know what to call this group. They haven't given themselves the name yet. Welcome to Platinum Star City.
The Maniacs.
I will leave you the names up to y'all. We got a few fun new things that's been, I wouldn't say going on, but basically we have a new emotes for when we go on tangents, because that's been happening a lot more. We also have new inspirations, little tangent time, and Rach has little froggy tangent times. We have new inspirations so that you guys will be able to keep up, and I don't have it just on a piece of paper on my desk. You guys will be able to see which character has inspiration at the time. When you see those little stars flashing with that eye symbol that looks like a 1, it's an eye. It means inspiration. That'll give you guys a heads up of knowing who has inspiration, who needs inspiration, so on and so forth. We don't have any announcements. Actually, I do have one announcement. I lied. Sorry, I don't do that often, but I have an announcement.
Oh, liar!
It happens less than you think. As for this upcoming Monday, I might not be streaming because I have a crazy schedule. Incidents at work happened, so no stream this Monday. Maybe, most likely, because I'm going to be going to work to get my security guard license renewed. So that'll be at 9 in the morning.
Ew.
I then have to come home, try and get some sleep, because I still work at night on the same day.
Ew.
So I'm probably not going to be streaming, and if I do, I probably won't hop on until around 6, where I'll be hanging with 66 and other friends to play Baldur's Gate for about 2 hours or so. Maybe. I don't know. It just depends if my body allows me to sleep. And which, it's a flip of a coin at that point. Besides that news, secondary news, which I can drop here, but it's basically for the 66 channel. They might be doing a one-shot on May 3rd, our next, gathering day. Is it May 3rd? I think it's May 3rd. Yeah, May 3rd. Because I'm working a 6-day week. So I'm working Saturday as well. So no stream for 66 channel. Work is getting a little hectic, but luckily I'm able to have fun still here. And who knows, throughout the week, keep that bell notification up on the Twitch channel, because I hop on whenever I feel like it. And so I might hop on throughout the week to play some Minecraft with friends, hang out, or do some random doodah mess. That is all the news I have for this channel and the 66 channel. You guys have any news or information you want to give to chat over here?
I'm okay.
No, I'm good. I'm good, yeah.
Alrighty. With that in mind, I believe, without further ado, we can get into today's episode of Platinum Star City. as where we last left off, our group decided to help Platinum Star City now that the current threat of war was now evaded. Discussions with Riptide led to a peace talk meeting opportunity with the other old ones, a group of individuals that apparently helped end a cataclysmic war between the chromatic dragons and civilization. During their downtime, they went shopping for items that they believed necessary, handled business of settling debts of deals, heading out to help the farmlands as Valindra went out to hunt. And during her excursion to the forest, gathering some product of furs, meats, wool, ran into some unsettling creatures. A conflict arose, which led to them being bit by this female werewolf. Before he decided to drop the name of Queen Oleander. Through some sort of fear of a deal being broken, the wolves immediately defended themselves with the idea that Valindra struck first, and then proceeded to disengage from this interaction. Retreating back into the fog, Valindra, dealing with this potential curse, called in the Sending Stone to Princess Gemma of the Platinum family. Flying over with her mother in her draconic form, gathered the attention of multiple individuals. Sending messages to each other, the group found out that Valindra was brought back into the science arcane labs of her grandmother's facility in the Noble District. As they all joined, they saw as others were panicking as Valindra was not slowly, but quickly changing into a werewolf version of herself. And as the other scientists were scrambling to make a antidote of some type, Princess Delphi Oleander, using her arcane knowledge and magic, was able to remove the lycanthropy curse, keeping Valindra from fully changing. Once the curse was removed, a much-needed dinner took place after, enjoying the company of each other, trying to relax after the day's events. Curiosity came over the minds of both Leah and Timothy as they asked to read from the book of many stories. And as the pages begin to open, both of them tried to slam their hands at the same time. The very book itself, the entity, living mindset within, saw the chance to give her the quest that she herself desired. Unfortunately, living through the traumatic events of her past, as Timothy is a co-passenger in her memories, she is able to spot and found the masked individual with the snake-like short blade, the missing-eyed ruby at the hilts of the eyes of this snake-like sword, and found that he is currently with two other hired or at least friendly companions. And she now has an ability to scry on him one more time. But now she is able to track the enemy that she has been wanting information on for a while now. rest came to everyone as they went to their individual places, only for them to decide to get ready to gather in the morning. As we join the group, as they one by one arrive at the docks of Platinum Star City, where, although around them there are a bunch of individuals already working on rebuilding boats, the docks, nothing seeming to be somewhat completed or available for departure immediately. As the group gathers, the first thing that they notice is that there are 3 other individuals also waiting and ready to join a freshly built ship with a mermaid statue on the front parts of this boat, as soldiers of the ocean directly under Riptide's command, along with the Water Knight Genasi and the sea captain of the fish folk, waiting on the docks next to a fully functioning ship. The bottom boats almost seem to have scales of a fish itself as it floats above the water surface, massive in size and ready for those to aboard and dock. As you all gather there, you greet each other, see everyone around as you are getting ready to get ready for your 10-day journey, for the meeting between the diplomats of Platinum Star City and the old ones. Are there any conversations you guys currently have as you are all gathered here on the dock side? The crashing of the seashores just slowly and gently brushing against the wooden platforms where the boats are being docked and repaired for other.
I'm gonna hold up my bag of clothing and say, I brought food.
Oh my god, I'm starving. What kind of food?
Lasagna.
What?
You don't understand the book yet. For those that do understand the book, there's only 4 individuals who are able to hear a sentient book that is able to be read at any moment of time. So as she says this, Timothy, Leah, Delphi, and Durant, the 4 of you simultaneously hear from the ether, is it just 20 days worth of lasagna? Is that what we're working with here?
I will ignore the book, as that is the best course of action all of the time.
Rude.
Timothy shouts.
Sorry,
I
can
look
you
at
see?
it. The book is asking if Una has 20 days worth of lasagna.
Is it just lasagna? I mean, that's a
But Una
legitimate question.
But Una cannot hear the book, so
I'm not sure.
I make no comment.
I think so.
Did you just make lasagna, or do you have anything else?
Thank you,
No,
Timothy.
there's other foods.
Okay, cool.
I whispered to the book, no, she's got other stuff, don't worry.
I'm not the one eating. make a perception check as Delphi
Wait,
has the book in her arms, and then others are just randomly, like Leah's randomly like whispering to the side. Durant's just staring nonchalantly in the distance, I guess.
And Timothy's just asking.
I'm sorry for
your
the dog
question.
barking. I got a
It's all good.
21.
We're on the docks, right? I'm just looking at the ocean. It's
Yep.
pretty.
Yep. With a 21 perception, you do spot Leah whispering something, looking towards Sass, You notice that she has the book in her arms or strapped up. Where is the book on you currently, Delphi?
It is. I'm just sitting on Durant's shoulder, just holding the book across my lap.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like, just like both arms like loosely kind of wrapped around it, so it's not like falling, but I'm not like holding it tightly.
And if I do remember correctly, has been a few weeks. Have you already explained to everyone what the book does, correct?
Just only the people that have used it.
Only the 4 of you.
Not. Yeah, so like other people don't know about it.
All
Just
right.
the people that have used it.
All right, so yeah, you just at this point it just looks like Leah could be talking just directly to Delphi, but at the same time, you notice that the eyes glance more towards the book with the 21 perception.
Performance.
Are you?
I got a 16 with a plus. I said performance, right?
Yeah.
3. I'm just gonna shrug it off and be like, I had a long night, and just start walking towards Timothy.
Well, I beat it. If I had a 21 perception,
You do,
then
yeah,
I would
yeah. You do see that there is a quick deflection of wanting to give away information, which is skilled in its own rights, but you are able to see past it. You know that was weird, for sure. As she goes and talks to
What?
Timothy.
Are you talking to a book? What's happening?
I just had a long night. Don't worry about it, Una. And I just walked towards Timothy.
Okay.
I'm good at many things with Una anyway. Doesn't even matter.
Fair enough.
Timothy just shrugs.
Duffy just kind of looks at Una with like a fit, like I don't know, like it's just a very like, this is my life. Look.
This is my life, stop asking about it.
Above table. At some point, I want to read the book too.
We know.
We should read
Why
the
do you
book
hate
together,
yourself?
You
right?
have 10 days.
it's not
It's
your
a new
time
day.
yet.
Yeah, you guys have 10 days journey. It's a new day. Someone
A
else
new
can read it.
dawn.
Who knows? Oh, wow.
I don't think anybody else should read it now. I'm just saying.
A new life.
Timothy loves reading that book. He wants to find out a lot of stories.
Nah, you
He is a bard after
It's-
all,
it's-
you guys.
I have an owl.
you guys realize
He's gonna
this
steal
is a
his stories.
this is a custom item, magic item that I gave you all based on my version of the deck of many things, but put into story aspects. You guys been getting lucky. Durant the most luckiest, I want to add, but you guys have been getting lucky.
Gotten the most lucky, and I'm the least happy to use it.
Yeah, because yeah,
Well, then,
you rolled basically being teleported to a random dimensional plane, and you got lucky enough to be sent to the celestial plane.
yeah,
Also, would it have sent me back?
it might-
Eventually,
there.
you don't know.
I don't think it would have sent me back. I think it would have sent me back.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could have been like a solo leveling moment where you're just having to survive for a certain amount of time before you get sent back naturally. Who knows?
I wouldn't want to do that either. He had a terrible time.
He had a terrible
Stop
time.
trying to meet your God.
Until he was overpowered, and then it wasn't a terrible time, but that's because it's solo leveling.
Yeah. You guys
Okay,
watch.
but we're not watching solo leveling. We're
Nah.
playing D&D.
No, I was just giving a reference to understand how it would work. Probably. Who knows? Maybe. Come back as Mechapoli. As your group sees, as Riptide, in a humanoid form, legs that are not of the fishtail that you first met her as, walking alongside her water genasi knights as they approach you all. You see that there are, even though I don't want to spread this map with thousands of tokens, you see hundreds of workers, civilians, and some soldiers are working in the backgrounds on different ships to repair, but the ship that is brought before you seems to be that of more of an, I want to say aquarium, but aquarium sounds like an aquarium. A more fish-based like materials. Like I said before, the bottom of the boat is not of wood, but of scales of a fish. And you see that the mast and I want to say flags, that's not flags. The sails are that, thank you, yes. The sails are that of a more, not fabric-based, but almost oddly fleshy, but it's not disgusting. It's more beautiful, like leather that is currently be wrapped up so it doesn't just get caught by the breeze immediately. Other soldiers of the fish folk are on the ship itself, moving stuff around, getting ready, as the two soldiers and the what seems to be some type of official captain of those fish soldiers stay near the docks. Riptide and this Genasi approach you as she looks to you all.
And I look
Welcome.
back. Hi.
I was glad to receive your message. You are ready to depart.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Did you get a package of clothing, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
You see there is like holding herself in a diplomatic position, does her best, but you still see that edge as she speaks next. The Prince Draco dropped it off personally. We allowed him to load it onto the ship along with others, and that's when we saw her. As she looks behind, you see already there the Empress in her humanoid form. You see she is adorned with metallic-like armor that seems to be almost a tank top. The two metallic braces on her biceps, the leather bracers on her arms, and the sash of almost a seaside tunic, but it seems to be more than just a design dress. She almost seems to be battle ready / journey ready. Next to her, to some of your surprise, you actually see Leah's informants.
Coming, is she coming?
She seems to have a backpack on her back. Her outfit is more of a dress that signifies diplomat-like nobility, although not as fancy as most nobles.
Looks like your girlfriend's here, Leah.
Behind her, you see someone you only... Durant only saw in a glance back at the ship. Someone who's dressed very pirate-esque. A Leonin-like figure with a saber that is almost sea shanty-like. A flint pistol on the other hip, and an eye patch over a very roughly cut-up mane. Simple, commoner-like leathers on, and is seeming to size up the other soldiers with a very sharp glance as he looks on to the ship that is ready to take you all on.
Can I?
Can I make an insight check on him?
Make an insight check.
Can we all, or just...
Whoever wants to, yes.
I got a dirty 20.
I would like to roll
18
perception
plus
because
2.
I think it's fucking cool. Although I remember
Oh,
where
that's
he's from.
what I meant. That's what I meant. Can I do perception instead?
If you want to do perception instead, go for perception.
Do you want me to re-roll? Or
No,
do
you can keep your roll. Just add the perception instead, yeah.
Oof.
What's
still
the
dirty
difference? What's the difference?
Insight is reading someone's emotions and persona, their intents behind their actions they're doing. Perception is looking at one's form and physicality, looking at things they might be holding or doing in the moment.
Perception would be like watching if somebody would is about to attack you. Insight would be trying to determine what they're thinking.
Essentially.
Well, I still got a dirty 20. Both of
So-
those are +2.
So, which one would be like if I recognize him or not?
Perception.
Perception.
Okay. Then I'm gonna do perception.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Shit. I'm doing this on a bed and it's not like.
Yeah, that doesn't really work.
Okay, hold on.
Tact, as we
Okay.
say in the
I
D&D
can't
world.
see what I got. See, that's a 12 plus perception 3, so 15. 15.
Yay!
Also, now that I'm thinking about it, have we seen other Leonin besides? We've had to have seen other Leonin
There
besides
are a
Goldpaw,
few.
right?
There are a few.
Okay.
Nothing as massive as what Goldpaw was, and his heavy armor that he always adorns, and his massive mane that was always well kept and almost like a proud adult pride lion. This individual has very rough, short mane cut up, tattered, barely counting as leather armor, with a saber that is nothing like the sword and shield that Goldpaw once had.
I don't know, man. He disappears.
I'm
Wait,
finding
I don't know.
another one.
Yeah.
Was it something with his eye too? Was
So wait,
Goldpaw's
did-
eye?
Yeah.
Make a history check if you want to, or yeah, make a history check if you want to remember.
Wait,
So
did
what is my dirty 20?
The perception you get for those that got a 16 or higher. Sorry. You look at this Leonin, and he is wearing an outfit that is not similar in any way, really. The weird way his eye patch is over the eye reminds you of the missing Captain Goldpaw, but everything about him, even his physique, almost seems as if this was Goldpaw, it's Goldpaw after years of not training, letting himself go. There's no real intimidation factor to him anymore. But this individual is looking upon the ship, and he is sizing up the soldiers. This is a very almost upset like individual as they are looking at the boats that they are getting ready to ride on. As you see, he looks over and begins to talk to the Empress, whispering back and forth as they begin to communicate.
Okay, so remind me,
Hmm?
how do the sending stones work? Do I physically talk into it, or
Yes, you do.
can I stealthily send a message to Theo?
Go ahead and make a make a stealth roll, and then we'll see how well you slink back as Riptide and this
15
individual
plus 4.
are in front of you. 19.
15 plus.
Very nice. You use your friends as a somewhat wall to just slink back further away, and you're already in your small fairy size, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're able to easily keep yourself out of view. Do you separate yourself from your friends as well, or just out of view from the Empress and Riptide?
Out of view of them.
Okay.
Riptide and
The Empress, okay.
Empress, yeah. And my message is going to be, hey Theo, I may or may not, it's a big if, possibly found Captain Goldpaw. Possibly. I haven't 5-yeared it out yet. I'll let you know when I figure out more.
As you send that off, it doesn't take too long before Theo calls back.
If you have found him, just knowing he's alive is important. But if you can confirm, Ask him where he's been, and let him know the enforcers need their captain back.
You got it, but I will have to confirm first.
Do so. Be safe.
You too.
The rest of you guys watch. Valindra in particular is like rubbing her shoulder as you guys see like the small, not scarring, but like faded scar of like teeth marks on her shoulder. As she's rubbing that, you see she is just taking inventory and of her items that she brought along with sizing up and looking at the boats that you guys will be riding upon as well. Almost like she's counting the soldiers, keeping inventory of what they are wielding as weapons, and just keeping silent to herself. As Riptide looks back to you all. Is there anything else you might need, or are we ready to depart? The moment we leave the docks, I will be sending the signal to the other old ones that the meeting is getting ready to take place. And then we'll have 10 days before it begins.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're all ready.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
We're ready.
And please, gather your items, head to the ship. We have bunks down below for you all. The Empress has requested her own room, which, considering how she is the true Empress of Platinum Star City,
Surprise.
I have done
She's the
so for her.
princess, not an empress.
I'll keep that in mind, but she's insisted to be called as such to avoid any
Yeah.
rudeness or argumentation between this diplomatic party. I have obliged her by her title. In the meantime,
just don't let it get to her head.
I don't think that's something I can do. But in the meantime, I hope to be hearing some fun stories about the Feywild from the both of you. And we have plenty of time to talk. I can show you sites and locations of different areas that we're going to be passing through and visiting. We're even going to be going through Viseraphil's domain, so there might be something there of little souvenirs that you guys might even like. Might be able to even trade souvenirs between any fairy or fey items that you have and those of items of the outside world that you have yet to visit.
Yes.
It sounds like a fun time. We should get going.
Wonderful. You watch as the knights and Riptide turn and begin to walk back towards the boats. They get towards the soldiers, and as they begin to talk to them, you see they begin to get onto the ship and get into different positions, ready to depart when need be. As you are all there, you see as they board on, the Empress looks over, and for whatever brain-fried reason, I can't remember her name. It's Valerie, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know, my brain refused to accept that as her name. You see Valerie and the Empress whisper back and forth, where the Empress almost gives her that smug smile and opens her arms in a almost greeting fashion as Valerie gives a small head nod and begins to approach your group. You then see the Empress and this Leonin folk both nod and begin to gain a almost not knowledgeable but information intaking like persona as they begin to load up their belongings onto the ship and begin to board. As Valerie begins to approach,
Timothy pushes Leah to Valerie. Go doctor!
Make an athletics check to see if you actually can efficiently push her, or if there is just like a small child pushing on the back of her back.
Okay, you said acrobatics.
Athletics. This is strength.
Athletics.
Yeah.
I got all 11.
Leah,
Straight 11.
do you
Just
allow yourself to
straight
be
up
pushed
11.
past Una?
Rachel, we can't hear you.
I forgot I muted my mic when I started coughing again. Like her name at you. It's Valerie. It's Valerie.
I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
I'll kind of like stumble a little bit, like an I don't want to, but okay, I'll go talk to her. Kind of like shuffle past Una.
As you get to the front of Una. Hello, morning, everyone.
Kind of look down a little bit, like a shy smile. Hey, Valerie. It's kind of a surprise to see you.
It was a surprise to me too, if I'm being honest. The Empress told me that she needed someone with a merchant's touch to join them on this journey. I feel like I'm gonna be busy.
Is that how you felt? Because we both know that you can be a little bit more than that in the form of intimidating.
True, I can decide to put on a specific charm when I need to. That's specifically for people that interest me.
Oh? I say, and I kind of like look off to the side.
That is how I found you.
Walks up behind her. Do you find Leah interesting?
I look back. Timothy, shut up.
Out of all the people I found at that casino, I guess you could say there was an attraction. At the same time, I feel bad because it was for a business opportunity, so I feel like I should apologize for that. Especially with the background check that we did on you without your permission.
No, you didn't. You didn't do a background check. What did you... Oh, God. And I, like, look down. You didn't find anything, did you? Like...
She doesn't lean too close in, but basically keeping it where other workers around do not hear. We did find information that we could use to incite a interest in you, which is why we had our werewolvian friend find where that masked individual was.
I hold my hands to Valerie, like, and tell her, I'd rather not talk about that today, if that's okay.
She...
Like, kind of slightly shaking a little bit.
You see, she almost immediately reads the intensity of that request and gives a gentle smile and immediately goes to change the subject as she looks to Delphi. Well, Princess Delphi, are you ready for this journey?
Yes, I'm kind of excited to see other lands and this, meet some of the other old ones.
It is under my understanding that your mother will be present as well.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see her, especially now that she's in good health. For so long she was not.
I'm sorry to hear that, but now that things are on better terms, this journey should be relaxing as we are being protected by the armed forces of Riptide. According to conversations that she has had with the Empress's informants, she has almost an ocean-sized army of soldiers, so I feel like our journey should be well protected from the seas, at least.
I hope so, but the last time I was told my journey should be well protected, I was attacked as soon as I went through the portal.
Sorry to hear that.
She wasn't the only one that also got attacked.
Above table, what are you referencing?
When we got attacked when we went to Platinum Star City.
Yeah.
I know
Immediately?
that's Delphi and Timothy. Timothy, you said Theo was also attacked?
No,
No,
he said
I was.
Oh, Timothy. Oh, okay. I thought I heard
You
Theo
must
was
have
also attacked.
misheard.
Yeah, that was me. I misheard.
No.
That's why I paused. I'm like, when was Theo attacked when you arrived? He arrived late, but yeah, okay.
No.
That's on me.
Just me.
As she hears this, is
I
like,
bring it up every time I get a chance.
she looks to you both. Yes, and as the Empress has expressed, that situation was taken care of the moment we caught wind of it.
Mhm.
she has our thanks then.
We weren't able to prevent it, but now that we taken care of it, we will be doing a better job to make sure this one goes even more smoothly than that. In the
Fingers
meantime,
crossed.
indeed.
Okay.
In the meantime, for our journey, I have been told also that if we are interested in any gambling endeavors, you see, as in a quick motion, when nothing is in her hands, almost like sleight of hand magic, a deck of cards appears, and then in the other hand, you hear the rolling of dice before, as she moves her fingers, dice appear in her other hand. I am in charge of entertainment of a gambling persuasion, courtesy of
And I
the Obsidian Rock.
have the job of performing.
Indeed. We will be departing for 10 days, so entertainment's important to keep our time entertaining.
Morale high.
Yes. If you have any questions, we will be able to answer with whatever we are allowed to answer with. But know that we are here not only to represent Platinum Star City, but to protect the royal family, the Fae Kingdom as well.
Well, I appreciate that.
We'll even have some more time to simply talk if we need to. She looks back to you, Leah.
Yeah, Leah.
And I gave my cards to the king, so apparently you're holding all of the cards at the moment. I kind of say with like a slight smirk.
Well, I guess during this journey we can deal them out as conversation sees fit.
Oh, don't worry. I got some romantic music that I got lined up.
Timothy,
She just
stop it!
she also just looks behind Leah towards you, Timothy.
Timothy has a mischievous smirk on his face.
I look at Valerie. I am so sorry about him.
See
I'm
her
not.
turn towards the ship, her head still looking at you, the eyes tell it all with the smile on her face, before she then turns and begins a very happily sass walk back to the ship.
I look at Timothy. Oh my god, I melted him.
I think that went well. I think that was perfect for your first conversation. Well, romantic conversation.
I look at Delphi. I need to sit down. I'll be right there. You guys can go on without me.
What
And I
if we
start
leave
like
without
fanning my
you?
face. Oh, I won't be long. I won't be long. I just need to sit for a second.
Okay. Weirdo. Timothy lifts his hair and flies towards the boat.
This story's about to be very entertaining.
Oh my god, don't you dare write about this.
As four of you hear the voice cackling is a very good word, but in reality it's playful laughter from a certain book. As you guys begin to one by one head towards the ship and adorn and dock. Dock? No, that's when you plant the boat. Aboard the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Upon this vessel, immaculate as it is, you guys have control of your characters. Unless you need me to move them, let me know.
You might need to move them. Someone is under
Please.
this lady right here.
Is Elian not coming with us?
That wasn't the original plan. No, she is needed here at the city.
Okay, that's fine.
Moment and like take a deep breath or two, and then slowly start her walk.
As you begin to head out and aboard the ship, you guys watch as in the distance some soldiers stay away from the docks, but they line up. And as the last of you aboard the ship and the bridge begins to draw back and onto the boats, you see as the soldiers all stand at attention, salutes, adventurers standing on the side, watching, workers that are on the ship stop what they're doing and look at you all. And rumors must have went out on who is on this journey and what it's for. Where you see the civilians begin to wave, you hear different shouts out of the crowd of, "Good luck out there!
Timothy's waving
Be
back.
safe!" You see different individuals and workers are all giving their appreciation to what this journey means for the city and what you guys have prevented from getting worse, as they farewell and wave away your departure.
Then a giant iceberg comes out of nowhere.
Oh my god, pop it.
Raise the anchors. Drop the sails. We depart now to the northern shores of my sister's land. Let us leave. You see as a couple of the fish folk are running over, you see 4 of them grab onto these heavy chains and begin to draw them in as you hear the sounds of sails being dropped and tied off to different masts. You see an individual crawls up to the top and begins to be a lookout as the captain of this, I keep wanting to call them goblins, not goblins, as this fish folk's crew turns the wheel as the ship begins to depart away from the shores. Crashing waves begin to get slightly louder as the ship goes against the tides as the wind carries it away from the docks. You guys begin your journey. And as you begin to get roughly 100 feet from the shoreline, you see as 2 adult white dragons soar above the coast of the docks, away from the ship, but give out 2... Make sure I get this right. You hear the sounds of 2 massive distant roars.
Where did Valerie, the Leonin, and Empress go?
If you're keeping an eye on them during the departure, they immediately went below deck in a separate room under the... I don't know my boat terminology. I believe it is the helm, which is the back of the boat, or this is where they steer it. And then the port is the front of the boat.
No, port is
No.
on the side.
No, port. Okay.
I don't know boat
So-
terminology.
Left starboard is on where's the left.
Let-
left
let-
starboard is
We're
right.
getting
Let-
Navy
let-
schooled. Let
See,
the
see,
prisoners
let's
in the
let
Navy
your,
talk.
let your sailor, hey, let your sailor tell you.
Okay.
Okay,
We got
about
CFH terminology. Let's go.
my job.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, let's go there
And-
instead.
Yeah, come on, guys.
All right, give me the lore down.
So-
What's what?
So the bow is the front.
That was the front.
The aft is the ass So aft
Oh,
is the back, and then port is left, and starboard is right.
When you say port and starboard, I go SpongeBob SquarePants with his little spatula, port and starboard attachments. And I see the left and the right pop up.
Yeah. So you can remember port, aft, and ass, and just remember like bow. I remember bow because that piece that sticks out from the front, that's a bowsprit. So that's bow, and then port is left because it has 4 letters. So and left has 4 letters, and then starboard is right because it has more than 4 letters.
I
Mr.
learned
Dino,
something today.
I love this.
Oh yeah, of course. I want to learn this future
I
stuff.
don't know why you make up new words for this, because, just call them left and right.
Okay.
No, port starboard.
The deck is the floor, and walls are called bulkheads.
So what is the poop deck?
It's the deck. And then
What was the below called?
Helm. I think
What?
it's just
So the deck is called the deck is the floor, on top of the ship. What's
yeah. The any like walls within it, those are called bulkheads.
And then what about downstairs?
I think it's just below deck, isn't it?
Yeah,
just below
I
deck?
don't know.
Okay.
I don't
Just
know.
below
that
deck.
The
off
helm
top
is
of
the
it.
steering wheel.
Yeah.
Cool.
The hole is the full outside walls. That's the hole. Yeah. And doorways are called ports.
Okay.
That's so weird, but okay.
Are they called ports or are they called portholes? Because
The
Why would
both,
you-
like port
okay,
holes.
good.
Windows.
Because calling them ports would be very confusing. You already have
Like
something named
both.
port.
Yeah.
Well, that's like going port. Yeah.
As
You've already made up a new term. Don't use it again.
Well, you
I mean,
technically use it
it-
3 times because you have port side, then you have port for the window or the door, and
Well,
then you have
port
port
side
hole
just
for the
means
window.
left side. Port side just means like left side. But
all right.
um,
I got us all written
I
down.
found our-
Hopefully, I
found our
remember
cow of
in the heat of the moment. As you all get about 120 feet out, the cries of people are now gone, and you just see the flying dragons over the city are waiting for you to get out of view. And just as you get further out, a massive shadow-like entity begins to arise from under the waters before emerging next to the boats. The massive leviathan-like creature comes out of the water, and as it like breaches forward, one of my things resets. Give me
Can I roll perception for if it is just a whale?
If you get a nat one, you definitely think it's a whale.
Josh?
I'm trying to fix something because it's not wanting to. The thing, when you have a Go XLR and you have
That's
some things
how-
that work, there's some things that choose when they want to work and when they don't want to work.
That's hate to break it to you, but that is all technology, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, nonetheless, you hear the massive cries of the sea creature that you guys have been introduced to once before, and immediately as it merges out, you watch as Riptide almost goes into a full sprint off of the boats, and as she delves into the water, the magical transformation of her legs into the fin of the siren folk she is. As she hits the water, you see as the Leviathan looks down on her impact and submerging under, as it then submerges and a few seconds later re-emerges from the water as she's riding on the spike of this creature, her trident now visible in hand, full adorned outfit that when she first arrived with, as she rides her beast next to the boats on your guys' journey. To Leah, as to make remarks to the earlier, you saw as the Empress, Valerie, and the Leonin went through a port door to the private room, you assume, towards the aft of the ship, roughly in this location here. As the door was closed behind them as the three of them entered with their belongings. You guys have the ship as minutes go by and the distant island that was Platinum Star City becomes very, very small. You guys set off on your journey.
Yay!
As the ships get to a good enough distance, you guys have the boat to explore for your first day's journey, essentially.
I try to look for a good spot to play music at.
You see there are a few fish soldiers, one currently at the rooster's nest on the top of, I hope that's what it's called, the top of one of these sails.
I
The
think that's the crow's nest.
crow's nest.
Yeah,
Dang
it's
it.
crows.
Said rooster's nest. I'm an idiot. The crow's nest. The one that can actually fly.
Chickens can
Yeah.
fly.
Chickens can glide. I don't know if they can fly.
No, chickens can fly.
no,
Our
they
chicken-
They
can't.
can't fly.
They
That's why they made the movie Chicken Run. They can't
Yeah,
fly.
They
Yeah.
can get vertical?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's our chickens that can't fly. We've just made them so fat that they have really hard time doing it.
Oh, I just learned two things today. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like with turkeys. Like turkeys, our turkeys are dumb. Wild turkeys are smart.
I
Wow.
love turkeys.
We
I
breed
had,
our turkeys to be stupid.
I did not know
we
this.
had a turkey before, and it was so cute.
And then did you murder him for Thanksgiving?
No, he died because something was wrong with his foot.
Oh,
Oh, that's unfortunate. No Thanksgiving dinner for you.
wow.
No, we got Thanksgiving dinner after that for sure.
Wow.
We went out and bought one, girly.
I feel like that was like a family pet that they didn't just eat.
Yeah, no, it was a family pet. My mom loved the fuck out of that turkey.
As you guys move around the ship, you see that the soldiers that are here don't have their weapons on them. They are now almost in a sailor-esque mood. Even the once seafolk captain with his full armor takes his helmet off. The heavy armor sets it aside securely, and then just begins to work on the ship like a natural-born sailor. The other soldiers doing the same as the Genasi Guardian takes the helm of the ship and begins to steer it away from the city, heading directions eastward towards the open seas. I live on the west coast, so I have to remember I can't say west, because even though it's west is the ocean for me, on the map, you guys are on the east coast. Meh.
No, it's Louise.
The west.
West Coast, West Coast.
It is.
As the ship gets further and further away, you eventually lose sight of Platinum Star City as the Leviathan is casually cruising next to the ship. You guys are within talking distance with Riptide if you ever need to, but you guys are free to explore this place wherever you wish to adventure on the ship. Is there anywhere in particular you guys head to first?
Delphi is gonna go sit on these barrels at the front and just watch the ocean.
As you get to the front and watch as the ocean passes you by, the heavy clattering of waves against the fish-like scales at the hull of the ship. As you see, there are different types of sea creatures in the distance that You wish were closer, but you notice how all natural life seem to be keeping their distance, as there is the only silhouette shadow of this massive leviathan in the waters next to your boat.
Okay.
What do the rest of you do?
Below deck
Filter.
and look for somewhere to lay down and just rest her eyes as she didn't sleep much last night.
You see there are
Timothy.
3 sections to head through. There is the back door that the Empress and her crew took. There is a front door.
Just so you know, that's normally where the captain's quarters are.
Yeah. But it seems like Riptide has her own traveling ride at the moment.
When you said like private room, I assumed she just like took the captain's quarters.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
There is a second door towards the front, next to where Valindra is leaning against the wall and not going through a full check, but definitely like just keeping an eye on her surroundings, making sure her weapons are nicely kept up and sharpened. And then there is a floor that leads below. Where do you explore first?
I'm gonna look in the door by Valinda.
Okay. Upon going through the door that Valindra is in, as the door opens, I was gonna put you over here. Yep. You see that there are sleeping quarters, multiple, very almost new-looking. I keep wanting to say sleeping bags. That's not what these are. They're
Hammocks.
Hammocks. Thank you. My brain doesn't want to say words today. There are multiple hammocks where you guys may lay down for your journey. The location, not location, the way they're arranged, there are no real walls separating. There are pillars where they were strapped upon, and it seems like these are quarters for you and your friends specifically.
To go to the back wall, and I'm going to place my bag on the floor, and I'm gonna kind of just slowly rock in the one by the back.
All right. Durant, Una, or Timothy, is there any place you guys explore on the ship?
No, I'm still looking for a good spot to play music.
You can either choose, even though at the helm, yeah, the Water Genasi is steering the ship, there's plenty of room if you want to be, like, audience on the ship, towards the aft. And if you need to just get the attention of everyone, you can always just play towards the center deck of the ship.
Yeah. I might do the center for sure.
All right. Let's see. Una, is there anywhere you wish to explore?
Well, I don't know. God damn it, hold on.
I don't mind the dogs barking in the background.
Yeah, but
I do, because she's been barking all day. She's already on my shit list.
Hear
I-
Timothy's music through the wall, by the way.
If he starts playing.
Okay, I'm just curious.
yeah.
I don't know what Una, I guess just wanders around the ship, like explores it. I had plans of Elian and Una trying to get close to the Empress, but Elian's not here. And I don't think Una would want to start anything if Elian wasn't there as well.
Well, you guys already had the discussion, and Alien was for it, so it's just if you want to try to solo conquer, I don't know. I'm single.
Can I roll a dice and see would Alien prefer if it was something where it was all three of that, like, that she was included at least for the beginning of the relationship?
I would consider this a discussion that you would have already had, and the discussion that you Alien prior had was an okay for in addition to the relationship. So would you think Alien would want to be there for the start, or would she want you to soften up the darkened heart of the Empress to make her less murdery?
Can I roll?
You can roll if you wish.
insight
Is this for the Empress or for Alien?
for Alien to see if she would prefer me to try and soften up the Empress, or if she wants me to wait till she's there.
With advantage, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank God I got advantage because that was a nat 1.
Oh my god.
And I got a 19.
19. There is definitely still the idea from Alien being the adventurer and the detective slash somewhat adventure spy that Alien is. She would like it if you were able to even see if the Empress would be interested, and if the Empress is interested, soften her to the idea of if she even would like to embark on this journey with the two of you.
Okay. And yeah, Una's gonna wander and maybe wander, or like near, not necessarily go to the Empress, but like just wander around the ship and maybe pass by where she thinks the Empress is.
Okay.
Times.
During the beginning of this journey, the Empress and her two other companions definitely walked through the door, but the door was closed behind them. You don't know if it's locked, but for sure they are in there, and for the first hour of this journey, as you guys are moving throughout the ship, they do not come out.
Okay, I'll start playing music, and then also while playing music, I'm going to be telling stories of the Fey world and what Timothy has gone through.
As you do that,
Do you want
the
me
map
to
is
roll?
not big enough, but basically, you see as Riptide immediately like pulls back on one of the spikes of the Leviathan and will go alongside the boat closer to you to listen to your journeys and stories of the Feywild, with a very
roll?
happily giddy smile on her face.
My roll.
Oh yeah, roll for performance, my dude.
Oh fuck yeah! 19 plus 9.
Captivating not just Riptide, but other soldiers and sailors on this ship, and even your companions who didn't know things about the Feywild and your journeys, such as Sanjuro. It's to hear the tales of Timothy's life through the very and captivating music as you play on your new violin. Music and magic intertwined. Do you have any cantrips like Minor Illusion or Prestidigitation?
I have Prestidigitation.
A lot smaller in scale, almost action figure size, but for those that are on the ship, you can actually I did this for Dandy, so I don't know if you want to do it. You can actually do Prestidigitation to make small illusion imagery, basically also giving them a visual description along with your performance.
I'll do that.
Yeah. As this very beautifully played out music is being rung, for those watching, you see as some of the soldiers get like a little closer, the one in the crow's nest like almost like uses his telescope to actually watch from a distance up there. Other soldiers are getting closer, just wanting to listen and watch as Riptide also is enthralled. Leah, you're able to hear the violin and some of the song play through. Did you leave the door open?
I was gonna wait for a break. Hearing him starting to play the music, I'm gonna climb out of the hammock and walk over and open the door just to kind of peek out and see what's going on. And noticing that Timothy is now playing, I'm gonna leave the door open. And climb back into my hammock, but kind of angle it so I can kind of like see him and watch what's going on, but also kind of resting a little bit and listening to his music for relaxation.
Yeah. As this takes place, you are able to listen as everyone is captivated and enthralled as the music goes by. Durance, is there any place you explore as everyone is enjoying the pastime?
Because I'm thinking about it, we're on a goddamn boat. I'm gonna go downstairs and get out of my armor and into normal clothes, so horrible things don't happen.
Oh, okay. Because this map was made last second. Hi. This is not your Leah. As you are getting
Yes.
comfortable on the hammocks, which makes a lot more sense now that I actually look at the fullness of this map.
I'm wearing stuff under the armor. I'm not just like stripping.
No, I know. But as you go below deck, Durance, the one thing I didn't check before that I really should have checked before is that when you go below deck, you essentially see the actual living quarters.
Okay.
As
Rachel's
you head
where-
down, you're where the crew sleeps. I forgot. You head down and see privately made rooms on this boat.
And I look at him and be like, this doesn't feel right.
Do you pick a room where you can unwind and dismount your armor?
No, because I don't feel like these would be mine.
Well, you guys are the diplomatic people. You would get the fancy rooms.
I'm gonna go down. I want to like. Does this just a door at the end of the hallway?
As you go down and open the back door, you find.
Just wanted to see if it was a door.
Oh, it was, yes.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll open it. We'll see what happens.
You find different dining rooms and eating quarters, along with the small, like, reading section. Different books and everything almost fastened onto the shelves so the books don't fall over with the crashing waves.
I'd like to look at some of the titles of the books.
You are able to see. I'm trying to get a better angle where they can actually see you. There we go. Right over the chat. There we go. The books titled are different, almost sea stories and shanties. You have. Let me go ahead and pull up a list. Give me a sec. From the first section closest to the door, you see more intricate books, such as Shelter of an Angel, Warrior of the Prison, Companions and Traitors. And as you move along towards the back, on the other side of the shelves, you see it gets a little more exciting. Love of the Dark Lord. The Boys in the Trees. Signs of Romance. Forbidden Love of the East.
Right?
You see on the walls near the top section of the boats more historical books. The Battle Between the Chromatic. The Birth of Life. The Beginning of the Old Ones. Faith of the Fae. you get to that the side wall is filled with historic notions, the fronts with fun adventures, and the back with more
The bag is full of
Passive.
spicy things.
breeds.
Can you list the historical ones again?
Faith of the Fae.
Yep.
The Cataclysm of the Chromatics.
That's what I wanted. Thank you. Okay.
Birth of the
I'm
Old
gonna...
Ones. Oh, okay.
No, that's the one I needed. Well, okay, rephrase. That's the one I cared about. I'm gonna head back towards the stairs. I'm gonna try and find the quartermaster to ask where our dwellings will be.
Very well. Heading back to the top of the ship. Because I still have no idea what the quartermaster is, I assume you mean whoever's in charge of the ship.
They're the quartermaster is the logistics person. They deal with supplies and such.
That would probably be the Water Genasi currently at the helm of the ship.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Where the hell? Oh, they're up here. I'm gonna go ask them what section our sleeping quarters will be in.
As you go to him, you see as he turns to you, the water like bubbles in his voice come out as best as he can for common. What is it that you ask him?
Sorry, I'm eating.
Fair.
Excuse me. Do you know where our sleeping arrangements would be?
Arrangements has been given. For below. Protector. And always well-natured for diplomats.
I'm gonna give him a nod and say thank you, and I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna choose a room, I guess.
You head back below. It's gonna have this
Choose this
zoom.
one.
It's gonna have this zoomed out best I can, but it's not gonna be good visuals, I guess. And yeah, it's not like you're gonna be running into battles anytime soon. Not with a giant leviathan on the seas. As you head back below, pick a room out. You take off your armor, set them up, and one of the chests that they have there. You see that most of the stuffs are either pinned down to the flooring itself or made in a way where it won't slide around with the rocking of the ship. As you guys are enjoying the end performance of Timothy's music, is there anything else anyone does for the first journey of this day one out of Platinum Star City?
I have a question.
Possible answer.
Do sending stones have like a speakerphone option?
If you hold it outward and away from your ear, it becomes more audible and heard. It doesn't have a boost in the speakers unless you're able to thaumaturgy the rock.
Sorry.
Okay. That's all.
Sophie's gonna go choose a room to sleep in.
All right. Where do you head off? Do you head off to where Leah is visibly just resting in a hammock, or do you go below deck where Durant has been for a little bit?
I go below deck.
Listen, no.
I apologize. Andreas.
Anybody can stop me at any time.
Yep, I set you up for this, and now I left you there.
Listen.
I should have looked at the whole of the map.
Listen, the fun of it is I have no freaking clue and nobody's gonna tell me anything. I'm gonna stay here.
Is Durant's door open or closed?
Closed.
Okay.
I was removing clothing.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yep.
But also, you know, that could have been open. You don't know.
Well, she's
I was
below
just
deck,
wondering-
passing by, so she's wondering if she sees you.
No, I know why she's asking, but I'm saying it was closed.
So it doesn't matter which room we take?
Apparently not.
Okay. What's this room? This back room.
That's the library-esque, like, part of the ship, where a bunch of books are a map on a small globe-like sphere. Sphere-like globe
Okay.
is what I was supposed to say, but I said globe-like sphere. That makes total sense.
Okay, well, Delphi's gonna walk to the back and kind of peek in, like, knock and peek into both doors if, like, the doors are closed.
You
And see the
see, yeah, you see on the right-hand side, it's less of an actual closing and opening door. That one is more of like a like one of those rocking doors from like the Western, but it goes like pretty high to low, so you'd still have to open it to look inside, but it swings open and back and forth. You see the dining room to your right, and then the door to your left is an actual locked door. As you open that, and you'll find the library on the left.
Okay, Delphi seeing that is gonna go into this room, like, knock and, like, enter and see that it's empty. And she's gonna put her stuff down, and then she's gonna go back into the library and start looking at all the books and stuff they have.
You find the same sections in the front: adventures, children books or stories, fantasy. On the right walls, the history and what things are. And in the back, interesting books of romance and etc.
It's the spicy section.
Delphi's just gonna choose an adventure book that sounds good to her and just walk back to her room and lay down in the bed and start reading.
Thief.
Thievery? She's gonna put it back.
I would like to go look at go look at one of the books. Which ones did I write down? I wanna look at beginning of the old ones.
Beginning of the old ones. All right. You spend the first part of this journey reading through. The beginning of the old ones is a story that describes how the Fey Queen, Queen Oleander, used her powers and gathered those of powerful magical influence of different beings that had a very intricate sway over their own domain. I'm looking at the list. Gathering a celestial who was skilled at healing and bringing people back from the grave. Gathering one who can harness heats and barren wastelands and use them in their own way of transformation. One who was intricate and skilled in creating with magic. One who commanded the very seas and tides with a voice that can persuade and sway man's heart. An elemental being that can control the different calls of nature itself. Gathering these individuals together, using their individual magics, and creating a group that was strong enough to challenge the chromatic tyrants of the ancient dragons. These individuals fought long and hard alongside other civilians, humans, elves, dwarves, all those who were against the tyrannical chromatic individuals. And due to a power of Fey fairy magic, were able to create deal makers. individuals who can gain power by using their own to help others. Though cost may come in different shapes and sizes, it is through their powers that each individual old one were able to not only grow in their own strengths, but also prolong and rejuvenates their own life. These individuals have lived of close to 1,000+ years through the deals that they have created with others. And at one point, finally got rid of the chromatic tyrants and brought peace as the old ones.
Hooray.
During this time of Passions of You reading, Delphi, you read a fun little adventure book about a few that have traveled through the western woods. You hear stories of intricate beings of nature, a few dryads that help cultivate the lands for those that make a living there, of villages and cities in the western woods. This adventurer in particular becomes known to almost be a leader of the wood-like cities.
Okay. Luffy enjoys reading the book. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fun little
How dare you enjoy
fantasy
reading
read.
the book?
Wow. As for the rest of you, is there anything you particularly do before the evening comes and you guys have your first meal on the seas?
Am I done playing music?
Oh, yeah, unless you play for hours on end.
No, okay, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
What is resting?
I'm going to look around, and then I'm going to talk to one of the guys and ask for a room, where one is.
Yeah. Below deck. There's a fun
Below
place.
deck? Okay.
We have rooms that for some of you can share, or, if you wish, some of you can hang with us in our hammock rooms.
In your hammock? Okay, I'm taken. Sorry, bye. And I fly away.
What? Just
I go downstairs.
as you head downstairs, you find the different rooms and doors that are there.
Still can't believe I'm sleeping in their freaking room.
Do I see this? Is this door open?
You head down to below deck.
Yes.
Which door do you try? This one. Oh yeah, that one's open. She had it open to listen to your music, so she's there.
Okay, so I peek my head in, and I see the nets that the guy was talking about. And then I see Leah sleeping. I'm like, hey bitch, wake up. This is the cruise room.
Leah kind of like props her head up, like, and looks at Timothy like, what the hell are you talking about? Like,
The crew
I was sleeping.
The crew sleeps here. You are sleeping on a crew member's bed.
Leah puts her head down like, son of a bitch. And then rolls out. Like, halfly rolls out and just, like, barely lets her feet hit the ground while she's hanging onto the hammock. I was sleeping.
Yes, but you're in the crew member's room, Girly Pop. Let's go.
Leah, like, slumpily grabs her backpack and, like, kind of like a child would if they were, like, being drugged somewhere that they don't want to go.
Just the
like,
bag just
slouchily,
drags
like,
on the floor.
yeah, like, drags the backpack behind her, like, I don't want to go. And, like, follows Timothy down the stairs.
You could be in a room with an actual bed and not sleep in a crew member room.
She follows
And then-
Timothy down the stairs, letting her backpack hit every single step on the way
Boom,
down.
boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Can we hear
Oh
this?
yes, you can. Yeah.
I'm gonna open my door and be like, what the fuck are you people doing?
You
Miss
guys let me
Man right
sleep. Go ahead,
here decided to sleep in the crew members' room.
I don't think it was a decision. I saw beds. I saw sleep.
Rachel, move your character down here.
How long have we been on the ocean?
A few hours.
Yeah, we just got here. Then again, also there really isn't much to do.
Alright. Well then, I make my way. I knock on this door to see if anyone's in here, because I'm polite, man.
There's no reply.
And I walk in.
Freshly unclaimed room.
I claim this bed, and I jump on it.
I don't think there are enough rooms.
Leah walks down the hallway and stops at. Well, she saw Durant stick his head out this way, right?
The one to the
This
right,
door?
yes.
Yeah.
This
So she
one.
stops at the next door and knocks on it.
There's almost a weird moment where Delphi, it sounds like someone muffly knocked on your wall. But other than that, seems to be no reply.
I kind of shrug, like, all right, well, I guess.
You
And I'll walk
opening
into this one.
seems to be unclaimed.
I'm just gonna kind of like chuck my backpack at the wall and just like face plant into the bed.
Thunk. Just backpack hits the back wall as you just face plant.
Delphi hears it all.
Beds are actually very comfortable. Well made and designed. The blankets are nice and comfy. The rugs below you are well kept, and the individual desks that you guys have with chests and closets seem to be well furnished.
Madness.
Yay.
Like toss and turn for just a little bit, realizing that Timothy now woke her up and now she can't go back to sleep.
She hears soft little lullaby music in her room because I pressed anticipation in.
We're
Una, do you, as you see the few of your companions go below deck, Valindra is just leaning against the wall on the upper deck, hand crossbow at her side, and just waiting and almost like resting in a sitting position.
I'll see if Valindra needs any healing or anything that like I can help with the bite. And then if the Empress doesn't come out of after that, if the Empress doesn't come out of her room, then like Una has been wandering the ship as well. I would assume she's found the place with the books and the area with the rooms. If Valindra doesn't need anything, she's gonna go see if she can find a book about plants in the air, like anywhere, any of the places outside of the fog, and then go, I guess, in here if there's extra beds here. I don't know what this room is.
Where are you looking?
And you know,
down below.
Yeah, it's like right here. Purple.
Purple mark. There is a look like in a very comfortable chair next to a table. There are the books that are scattered around. If you look for plants, you find a book called Root of the Earth. Gives
Oh
just
yeah, I'll read that one.
it gives you a different notions of plants, not really specified to medical, more of just like plant information for different regions. One for the
Yeah.
northern tundra, one for the desert wasteland, so on and so forth. Informational, sure, but most of them are not really medically based. They're more of just general knowledge. As for extra rooms, considering how I don't know why the past few times I thought that Delphi and Durant shared a room that they would again this time. That's on me.
that's not terribly like whatever, but
Yeah, but I just didn't expect it as you all claimed your own rooms as Una, as you go to each room already occupied by someone.
Well, Well, if Una's lucky, she won't be sharing with anyone from here for long.
I mean,
Uh,
Delphi is small, so
Yeah, two
it
of you are.
doesn't matter.
I'll leave that decision making up to you. However, you also said you
Interesting.
checked that last room on the below deck towards the bow of the ship.
Here.
Well, that's just the library room and
Oh,
general
that
studies.
is the library?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the library.
Okay, then yeah, I'll check over here.
As you open inside, you find an entire room dedicated for kitchen making and food prep. And you
Good to know.
happen to see where to go. Bing. There is one individual in here who is already starting on different meals being made. As he like,
I'll say hello and then I'll leave and get out of the way.
hello.
Hello, nice to meet you. Bye.
Bye. I guess. You just close the door behind you.
Yeah. So which of these are there 2 beds in each of these rooms or no?
No, only one.
We're gonna have to double
If
up.
I did druid magic and made a hammock
You can.
using the wood of the walls of the ship,
You're gonna break the fucking
Would that-
ship.
yeah, would that break the ship? Would that make us sink?
Try. Kidding.
You can certainly try.
What if I use inside walls like these 2?
That might work.
Okay, those are, yeah, you're right. Those are less important.
Can I roll intelligence?
Make an
Or
intelligence. This will
Would it
be
a wisdom thing or an intelligence thing? I
oh,
feel
wisdom
like
is street smart. So yeah, make a wisdom check on the structures of the ship walls.
I don't know, man. I feel like this is a physics problem.
Well, that was a nat 1, so
Oh
I
god,
give
no.
it.
You haphazardly make a hammock on the walls of the rooms, using the druidcraft to make the wooden nature become almost part of the string of the hammock, so that it is firmly attached to the walls, so the hammock
But like maybe
will
with
not break.
vines, so it's soft.
Oh yeah, the hammock itself will be soft as the vines and
Hell yeah.
leaves are there, but you made it where like the string part of the hammock are actually attached to the walls themselves, because that way
Yeah.
they won't snap.
Yeah. Delphi, I hope you're cool with sharing. Hopefully it
Yeah.
won't be for long.
I don't care if you want to share.
Okay, nice.
Sanjiro, is there
That was my
anything
fault.
you do during this journey as you have just been staying on the deck of the ship?
At the ocean, counting fish.
I think I'll go up to the crow's nest.
Not very open for room, but as you head up to the crow's nest, you do see that soldier that's up there already.
Oh, what is it? Look like?
Small little fish folk soldier. Green scales, spine. That is all amphibious. Yeah.
Ugh.
I imagine it to be a Murloc from World of Warcraft.
Less and more of. Can I help you?
But I like the Murlocs. They're funny.
They're funny, yes.
You talking to me? This fish just spoke to me.
The fish did speak to you, yes.
Oh,
Can I help you?
Sorry, fish. I didn't mean to intrude. You must be really busy up here after all.
Not
I'll leave.
really. I'm just keeping an eye on the horizon.
I'm already gone. And I don't know. I go talk to the captain. This guy, I guess.
The water genasi, okay.
Yeah.
As you head over to him, you see he is there steering the ship.
Can I help you with something? A question, perhaps.
How long is this sea trip going to take, do you think?
Once we get beyond the fog, there will be another day's journey before we reach the northern coast of Zerafel's territory.
Right. Do you work for Ritite? Right? That's the character's name.
She is the master of the seas. I serve her.
How did that come to be?
My father and his father before him both served under her command. Before them, my great-grandfather served during the era of the chromatic tyrants.
Do I know what that is? Should I roll a history
Make
check?
a history check.
What is that? I got a history. History is int, right?
Intelligence, yes.
I got a 19.
19. You remember stories, being from beyond the fog yourself, of the chromatic tyrants. 5 ancient dragons that ruled over the land mercilessly, demanding offerings, sacrifices. Only those of its draconic kin treated with some type of, well, respect. And these creatures nearly decimated the lands, according to history, before a group called the Old Ones ended their reign of terror. Not easily. There was a great many loss of life during the war. But someone simply known as the Old One, who brought these powerful individuals together, was able to subdue and defeat the ancient dragons. Their draconic kin, still treated with a sense of rights, are still imprisoned due to their prideful nature down towards the southern continent of the volcanic lands. That is where one of the Old Ones, a elemental titan, keeps them in check.
And so I says to the guy, so you were just born into this. Did you ever want to do anything of your own volition, or just carrying on the family tradition?
Carry on the family's pride. I will protect Riptide, as will my son, and his after.
Right. And you want to do this? You didn't want to do anything else?
This is the greatest honor. A warrior's honor.
Okay, well, where do you have beds?
We've prepared some sleeping quarters below. However, we were not expecting this many companions. We have some spare hammocks where my other crew members can rest. The beds below are too packed. You may sleep there. Seems your elven friend is choosing to sleep on the deck.
Then I look over. I make a face.
You
Now,
see,
that's weird, but all right.
yeah, Valindra's like just back against the wall, head in a sleeping nod position, but she has like her hand on like a hand crossbow on her lap. She's just resting there.
All right. I guess I'll go find a hammock and go to bed then.
All right. As the evening begins to draw near, you guys have a quick meal. Do you guys eat together, alone? Any subjects you talk about or discuss, or do you just have a simple dinner before the evening night comes?
Delphi will go into this little cafeteria room. Oh, okay. Actually, first, Delphi is going to ask Una, "Are you hungry and do you want to eat?"
Yeah, I could eat.
Do you know if they're gonna have food ready or if we need to make our own?
I mean, I have food in my bag of clothing, but if we need to make, I think that they'll be making food because I found a kitchen on this floor.
Okay. Well, should we go to like the little dining room and see?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. Now Delphi's gonna go to the dining room.
As you head to the dining room for this evening, for those of you that are beginning to get hungry, head out to find your locations of where you're eating, and eventually you all make your way to this location. Nice little section of the ship where you guys can have time to discuss to yourselves. The door is not really good on privacy as it is a swinging door, but nonetheless, you are able to have a somewhat, compared to where the rest of the ship is located, a private discussion if you need.
I'm gonna kind of like knock or like slowly walk over to Timothy's door and knock on it.
Timothy's door opens and he's still on the bed. I use the mage hand.
I'm gonna kind of like sit on the corner of his bed. Timothy, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ask ahead.
That thing that we saw last night, do you mind if we just like not talk about it?
I want you to know, Leah, you're bringing it up.
I know.
Are you
I
sure
just-
you don't want to talk about it?
No, I would just rather not tell anybody what we saw in that book last night.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wasn't even going to tell anybody, so...
I know, but like it was a lot, and I don't know what you thought, or you know, I don't know what I thought. I didn't know if you wanted me to tell you anything about that night. I just rather would forget that we even saw that.
You can tell me whenever you are ready.
I mean, there's
Nothing more, nothing less.
really nothing more to tell.
Well,
I kind of saw everything.
if you ever want to talk about it, I am here.
Thank you. And I kind of like pull Timothy into a hug.
Timothy awkwardly gives you a hug back.
You know, you don't always have to be such a dick, she says, like a sarcastic smile.
You know what? Timothy pats your head. It's okay. Are you hungry? I'm hungry.
Oh, I'm starving.
Let's go get some food.
As you two head off into the dining hall, you meet your other companions there. Sanjiro, do you go down for food?
I have sleep for dinner.
I have the samurai's meal. As others are there, Valindra will finish her nap and be part of the conversation. That way, when they come back, I can just give them the information needed. Do you just have sleep for dinner, Sanjiro?
Nah, I'll head down.
Okay.
Wait, is that actually a thing you can do?
It's a thing that some of us college students had to do. Yes.
Okay, so no, I thought I was asking if it was a feature or trait. The answer is no.
The answer is
I was like, oh, is that a monk thing? I don't know.
I use the feature sleep for dinner. I don't have to take a day's rations.
It kind of sounds like a monk thing.
Heck,
Never up.
I gotta start creating things then. If you go into a meditative like state, you can avoid having to take a day's rations. Anyway, as you all begin to have your dinner together, enjoying as the first day comes to a close, you see as the lights around you, these arcane lanterns begin to dim, giving you guys the idea that sun might be setting on the outside of the ship. Food is brought to you, small snacks of cheese and cracker splatter, a couple of dried, not like, is fish jerky a thing? I feel like fish jerky might not be a thing.
You could make fish
can
jerky.
be.
It's not common. You can do it.
A type of preservative fish, not freshly made, no sushi in line, sorry, but basically...
Yes, fish jerky is a real thing and popular snack.
Nice.
I have never seen fish jerky in my life.
Neither have I, that's why I thought I made it
I'm
up.
gonna be honest.
I have never seen it.
Timothy's not eating it.
It doesn't look awful,
like
but at the same time, understandable.
Leah kind of eyeballs
I-
it suspiciously. I'm not touching that either. Don't worry.
I have lasagna.
You just put, you see the meals be brought to you, see the fish jerky, and go, I have this instead, and just put out a platter of lasagna.
Well, I'm gonna wait till whoever is serving the
Oh
food
yeah, the fishman
leaves
goes
the
away.
room.
Yeah, fishman
Please.
goes away back to the kitchen.
Okay,
you
then I'll
can
pull
you
out
can
the lasagna.
audibly also, for those with, what's your guys' passive perceptions?
10.
Passive.
Something.
The
Perception.
perception.
11.
16.
Mine's a 12.
There's no stealth to
13.
his webbed feet. Those that got a 10 or higher, you're all able to hear like the like pitter patter of their webbed feet coming down the hall. So if you ever hear them return, you can even try to decide to hide the lasagna if you wish.
Delphi is gonna take some of the fish jerky, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try it, but just in case I don't like it, Una, did you bring any fruit?
Yeah, I definitely did.
If I
I
don't
just
like
wrote
it,
it
may I
down as
have some?
rations. I'm assuming that includes fruit, right?
Yeah,
Now, I could grow fruit. I have druid
you
craft.
have druid
Here,
craft. You can grow fruit.
what fruit do you want?
They're no good berries, but they're still fruit.
Strawberries.
I grow some strawberries.
Strawberries, madness.
Yeah.
It takes time, but you're able to get a small platter of strawberries on the side. There are still cheese and crackers that are a lot better looking than the fish jerky.
I do eat some of
Delphi's
the chicken
Delphi's
chicken
gonna
crackers.
Delphi's gonna try the fish jerky.
I'm also gonna have some of the fish jerky because you guys are cowards.
It's a nice salted flavor, and the moment your saliva hits it, it almost livens up, much like how regular jerky is. And it just it's just like almost having fish, salted, but
salty.
it's fish.
Um,
Definitely not lasagna, but it will sustain.
Delphi is gonna be like, it's not bad, and then ask Una for a small slice of lasagna too.
The taste is extremely different from a home-cooked lasagna meal to the fish jerky. You get the idea that one is made for long journeys as the other one is made with love.
I would also like some of the lasagna. Timothy pushes
On
the
a
fish
platter,
jerky.
so grab whatever you want.
You guys, one by one, get your slices, enjoy your meal as you are all down here. Enjoying the meals, hiding it whenever you hear the webbed feet come and replace some of the cheese and crackers or drinks if you want wine, ale, and or water.
Yeah.
And as...
Una, and I asks her, do you think that we should bring some to our special friends as well?
The food's for us.
Music.
Wait, who were you asking?
You.
Asking you, like, if you think that we should bring some lasagna to the Empress, Valerie, and the Leona as well.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, let's bring it to them. Also, I want to clarify, when I said rations for everyone, I did include them in my calculations.
Okay. Alrighty.
Timothy's
After-
gonna go with.
Oh, so you guys just migrate as a group?
I'm staying here. I don't know about you people. I'm
Food
enjoying my
up when I
food.
went to deliver it.
Delphi, who's finished her strawberry small slice of lasagna, and drink, is going to grab a cup of water, grab a small plate of the fish jerky, and head towards the library because she's gonna go read some more.
Wait, you said more or
I'm gonna be right back.
As
More
you
what?
it sounded like you said corn, but instead
No,
of
more.
corn.
No.
No, she's going to
More.
read more books.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, excuse?
There is some there apparently, so
Delphi's just gonna sit on the floor, with her drink and everything, just with her back against one of the bookshelves and just read.
before you go over to read, as you stand up, a question does hit the table. So, are we gonna have fun tonight? We still
Possibly.
have 3 members who don't know.
What's up? You, I'm sorry.
it's the book.
Delphi will say, I'll leave it up to everyone else. I'm gonna go read.
All right, Miss.
Did you just drop the
let's
book in the
go-
middle of the table?
What?
Did you just like drop the book in the middle of the table then and go to read?
Well, I'm assuming he is already on the table, so I'm just...
Oh, you just left him
Yeah,
there.
just leave-
Okay.
Yeah.
She's just like,
We
yeah,
should
you
go,
leave him on the table, get up and go read yourself. Well then.
We should go feed your people.
What is BRB?
Oh, that's
Goodness,
right.
yeah. Leah's gonna reach forward and take 3 healthy slices of lasagna and put them on her plate.
Alrighty.
Timothy's
Zagnum.
going to pick up the book.
Unjura will look at the book.
Haven't
I
you
think I'll
already
go
read
ask
me? We can like,
I'm gonna go ask Delphi about the book.
we could ask one of the others to read. I mean, you've already read it, had some fun with it. Why don't we let someone else have a try?
Did-
Why would I do that if I could have more fun?
But I've kind of
It's-
already read your story.
It's suspicious how much you want other people to read you.
Oh, learning stories is great. I mean, I've already have your 4 stories put together. It's been a great read. I'm continuing the stories thus far. I mean,
But what if I find something more interesting?
well, that benefits you. It doesn't really benefit me much. However, I don't know Una's story. That'd be an interesting read. Or even that Sanjiro, that warrior-esque. What kind of stories does that robed, sword-wielding man hold? Or even Valindra,
If you don't
one
let
who
me
would be
tell
a
more
werewolf.
stories, I will tell your stories.
What?
I will take your stories and tell others.
That's not what he wants.
Then you better shut up and let me read it again.
Leah looks at Timothy. I don't want any part of this, and she grabs her plate and starts walking slowly down the hallway.
Sorry.
It is your fault, but
Okay, it's past. I looked at her past, and you guys saw a piece of it too. She has
Yeah, and I
powers
would
that can
like-
scry on who she's looking for. It's a
Yeah,
it's a
I
give and
wanna
take.
Find more stories.
Let's get a census of the group.
Let's get some more stories. You can't fight this on me.
I physically can, but can we discuss this a little?
No, no disgusting.
As
Oh,
Leah
Yeah, I vote
takes
we
the
don't
plate.
use
Talk
the
to
book.
the
That's
book.
my vote.
Can I see him talking to the book?
Oh, verbally and visibly,
Didn't
yes.
you leave?
I did. I came back to see who you were talking to, since I don't hear anybody else talking.
You see as Leah passes by, you go inside, and Timothy's kind of having a slight discussion with the book. One-sided, weirdly enough, but...
What's that book? What do you got there?
It's a book.
Oh, can I see?
Timothy thinks, puts his fingers on his chin. 20 gold.
I don't know. Can I roll a sleight of hand? Can I just roll a sleight of hand? What is this book?
What, are you just trying to snatch it out of his
I'm
hands?
physically holding it.
But you're the size of a small person compared to this fully adult man.
You know what I'm gonna do?
I'm gonna say that sleight of hand might go through.
I'm going to cast invisibility on me.
As you
What about
get
the
ready to
book?
cast.
Anything I hold turns invisible.
I understand. We're gonna see if his sleight of hand beats your casting time. So you have to get a high DC for this to be able to snatch it out of his hands.
It's a one action.
I understand that, but it was literally as he was reaching for it, you decided to go invisible.
I got a 15.
Oof. You immediately try and snatch the book out of Timothy's hands, and as you do, unfortunately, he's that guy with the fishing rod in that insurance commercial. You gotta be quicker than that, and he just turns invisible.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gone.
What harm could come? I could tell you stories about his past if he reads me. This would be great opportunity to learn more about the people you're traveling with.
Yeah, well,
As you fly to your room.
visible.
Yeah, so Sanjuro, you just see the door swing behind you, even though no one is there, and then the sound of a closing door, and I assume locking in the distance. Of course. Leah, as you continue hearing this small commotion in the back as you get to the stairs to head up to the dock of the dock of the ship. Delphi, you continue reading. Durant and Una sees this whole thing unfold, and Valindra, confused and seeing this entire interaction, is not wanting to. She's already had enough excitement for a day.
The book has found its match, bitches.
Forcibly kidnapped. Yay.
Don't fuck with a chaotic neutral, bitch.
As Leah, you head to the top floor. Valindra's behind you and will barely get to her resting spot as you get to the door if you're heading to where the Empress resides. As you get to the door...
I'm going too.
Oh, you're following as well. Okay. So, if you're following Leah, you only heard, the passive arguments between Sanjuro and Timothy before, by the time you get to the stairs, it's that, distant conversation. Or the sounds of a door closing as you guys reach the top. As you two move across the docks, you see the soldiers are moving around, keeping an eye out. The Leviathan is more on a cruise ride now, where half of its face is submerged in the water as it is just slowly drifting alongside the boat. Its eyes are in a resting position, and you see as Riptide is just leaning on the back of this creature, looking up at the night sky now approaching, as the orange dusk is now hiding itself beyond the horizon, and the stars are beginning to be visibly found. And you see in the far eastern distance, about a good another possibly 2 hours or so away, massive in form, like a distant mountain, the wall of fog on the eastern oceans is approaching. As you guys head over to the doors, Leah, you have the plate of food. So, do you let Una open the door?
I'm gonna knock on the door.
I'm carrying the food. I made it.
That. What? Yeah.
What?
When you were gone, Leah said she took
Baby.
3 slices and put it on the plate.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to like just have the other pot of lasagna just in your inventory,
I was
also. But
just gonna bring the whole platter. We already ate from it. Everyone has what they needed. I was just gonna bring the whole rest of the platter.
I'm gonna just like give him something that we already ate out of. I was like presenting it nicely, pop it up, you know. Why would you hand somebody like half of a casserole pan? You know,
Because
it's like going to your parents' house and being like, "Oh, I made this cake, but I ate half of it already, so you can have the rest." Versus like putting some on a plate and being like, "Oh, I plated this for you specifically." You know, it looks different. It's
we don't
presented differently.
know how many mouths they have to feed. It's a good idea to just bring
It's the
this.
3 of them.
Probably there's 4.
Oh, it's Leona, Valerie, and the Empress in there.
And probably our other friend.
What other friend?
Leah. Our other friend.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I am such an idiot. Leah like shoves the plate at Una. Here, hold on one second. And she like runs downstairs. She
make
like
a
runs downstairs
dexterity
and
check.
grabs.
Make a dexterity check as she just as you're holding your own lasagna tray as she just puts 3 plates on top of you.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, see, I thought.
Hey,
wait,
I heard the call out. I heard the call out.
Hold on. I was like, no, hold on. I was RPing this out with her. Like, hold on. I got the plate. Hold on. I was thinking like she had the casserole dish. Okay, hold on. I could save this. Hold on. I'm gonna dexterity check it anyway.
Okay.
That landed on top of my other dice that I have out. Hold on. 19 dexterity.
I kind of needed Una to make the dexterity check because you put the plates on her hand.
Oh, well then, yeah, then you go ahead. Okay.
Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
That was a 19.
Oh, okay.
See, look at that. Look at
Total?
It was meant to be.
Total.
With you see, as even though it was very quickly, Leah like sets the 3 trays, not at all messing with the food on the plates, with great speed and great works with her dexterity check. And then with your dexterity saving throw, you were able to keep balance as sudden 3 plates are on top of your casserole, and you are now like almost using the casserole tray as like
it's a lasagna.
It's a lasagna, but it's like the big tray. It's the big tray that you have to use 2 hands to
Lasagna
hold.
pan.
That one. As you are now balancing 3 plates and the tray, lasagna pan, very well.
I just look at her. I'm gonna go get the strawberries, and I run downstairs.
I ate them. I ate the strawberries.
All of that?
It was only a small amount.
Leah heads downstairs,
Only enough.
goes into the room, sees as Sanjiro and Durant are just there relaxing, finishing off their food. Not a single strawberry in sight.
I come back up. They're gone.
I only made enough for Delphi.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, I was trying to spice it up a little bit.
Do you want
dinner and
more?
dessert?
I can make more.
What do you think they? Do you think they like strawberries even?
What?
Wait! Hear me out. Can you make chocolate? I can melt it.
No.
I was thinking chocolate dipped strawberries for your lady.
Right. Okay, chocolate does technically come from a plant, but it has many other ingredients that I can't grow with a cantrip.
Right, fine. I guess lasagna will do.
I can hold on to the lasagna.
All right, I take the plate of lasagna from her.
Make a dexterity
The
saving
whole
throw.
platter. No, we are gently handing it over.
I know you're gently handing it over. There are 3 plates. The tray itself is fine. The 3 plates on top need to maintain balance.
Is there? Where are we? Is there a table nearby?
No, you're on the deck of the ship.
Am I making the saving?
This time you are, yes.
Do I need my hands to cast druid craft?
You do, unfortunately. I
Nat
believe it's...
20, baby. Nat 20.
You guys are handling this tray like professionals.
Listen,
And nobody
Do
even
it.
gets to see this.
I mean, there's
No,
a
no,
few
I will.
there's a few fish folk on top watching this transaction. It's like, oh,
I grow some strawberries.
Oh my
I mean, at this point, you just see like some of them were. You see, if anything, there's like a slide. Valinger with her passive would see as this one just goes to like the water genasi, and they're like making like a side bet in a query in which none of you speak. So you don't know that they're making a bet to see if one of you drops it.
Wait, with my perception, I see this though, and I just look at them.
Well,
like,
you
with
see
a-
him. Well, I'll tell you right now. You see them talk and look at you intently. You do. I highly doubt you speak. Aquaman.
No, I don't. No, I don't. But I see them kind of making like these gestures, and I just kind of look at them like, you're kidding, right? And I just kind of like shrug my shoulders, like, I got this.
As
We
you
got this.
perfectly balance the tray as Una begins to make some more strawberries in her hands. You have a small, I would say, a small dish bowl of strawberries along with the tray of lasagnas.
Okay. Are we ready? Can we knock on the door now?
We can knock on the door now. Would you like the honors?
Yeah, you've got the lasagna.
Yeah, but you got the strawberries in the pan.
Well, no, you have the pan in place.
You
She just has a bowl of strawberries.
Oh. Listen, I lost track. We've tossed it back and forth over here.
You kind of did.
I lost track of who has what.
You just hold out a plate of lasagnas. I have strawberries.
Okay. Knock on the door.
As you knock on the
Can
door, you hear...
Can I
Yes. What?
use my passive perception? How much can I hear through the door? Like, is it possible that they've heard this entire thing?
As you knock on the door, using your passive, which is what for perception?
Passive is 16.
16 passive, you're able to notice that you hear heavy footsteps approaching, which means there's some type of distance between the door you're at and wherever this individual's coming from.
Okay. Good enough for me.
As the door swings open, you are greeted by the Leonin with the eye patch. As he looks down towards you and Leah, you guys look past his shoulders and you see there is actually a hallway that leads further inside to a secondary door, currently closed.
Hi. We don't know if they fed you guys fish jerky too, but we brought lasagna and strawberries.
Are you here to see the Empress?
Yeah, I'll hand it off to her.
One moment.
You hear the
Thank
voice, raspy in nature, like it's hard to speak. He coughs in between breaths if he can.
For this one, I'm gonna roll perception. Is this gold pop?
Make a perception check. And Leah, if you wish to, go ahead as well.
23.
Uh, 21.
Being this close up to the individual, as he tries to turn and begins to walk back towards the long hallway door, the one thing you both notice before he closes the door you guys are at is that there is under the toughened fur of the mane, right where the throat is, there is a heavy scar.
Did gold have a scar?
He did not.
Does it look like a really old scar?
With a 21,
No, I got a 23.
with a 23, you both are able to notice that this is indeed not an old scar. This inlining of where stitching would be can still be somewhat visible.
Is it placed in a place like? Does it look like that would affect his voice?
You There's no real indication of what the intent was. It's just that it is visible there through the mane of his fur around his neck and head. That scar where the throat is very noticeable for those that are up close. As he finishes closing the door, you hear his heavy footfalls go further inside. You hear muffling voices. Before returning, you hear the heavy footfalls as the door opens.
She'll see you both.
Excellent, thank you.
As he walks to the back door and then proceeds to open it, letting you guys enter in. He stands aside, giving you guys a place to enter. Inside, you see a massive table, a few paperwork scattered around, and you see the Empress and Valerie essentially going over plans of paperwork as you two enter with a very visible donation of food. As you see, as the Empress sees this, lifts her mug, which has some darkish liquid, looks over to the Leonin. Thank you mighty kindly. You can wait in the hall. She takes a drink.
Yes,
Can you check DMs real quick?
mistress.
Okay. As the two of you move in, you see as this Leonin begins to move past you both. Okay. As he moves past you both, he closes the door behind you. You don't hear him getting further away. He seems to be just on the other side of the door. However, you guys are now in the room with the Empress. As the Empress looks at the two of you, there is a slight pause. Smile grows over her face. She then takes her mug and goes for another drink. And as she sets it down, well, isn't this quite the surprise? I must say, wasn't expecting a visit from the two of you so soon. But now that you've brought gifts, I don't see why we cannot have a good time tonight. Please, take a seat. You see as Valerie pulls up two stools for you both to sit on.
We brought food because we weren't sure if they gave you that fuck-ass fish jerky too.
Oh, they did. And I did partake. Kindness and all. But I also have my own sources of traveling snacks.
Give the Empress a sort of look. I applaud you. I could not partake.
It's all about
Yeah,
political
no,
standpoints. You don't eat their food, it might hurt the feelings, and when you hurt someone's feelings, they can start holding grudges. I avoid the whole demeanor by just taking care of the middleman, of just indulging those who have a softer heart.
Nothing does the heart better than a nice home-cooked meal from Una.
Oh, you cooked this, dearie?
I did. And through the strawberries.
I kind of look at Valerie with like a slight,
She
a
has,
slight smirk.
yeah, she has her, like, demeanor about her of business, looks to you and tries to show a smile, but there's a tense moment every time she's around the Empress. You all feel it.
Oh yeah.
Well then, I guess we should partake in some fine eateries. Feel free to join us as well, Val, if you feel like it. You see, she looks over. Thank you. Pulls up a stool for herself and sits. As you all are around the table, she stacks her paper to the side. Valerie gets her sections of notes and sets it in a bag.
I place the platter down and I hand both the Empress and Valerie their own plate and mention that one was also plated for the Leona as well.
Feel free to hand him his food out there. He's here on business only.
Doesn't mean he can't be fed well.
Indeed. You open the door to hand him his food in the hall. That was a question, not a statement.
If Leah doesn't, then Una will.
Oh, so I don't know if it came through. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. Leah will take the plates, open the door, and you see the Leonin on guard standing. Hold out the plates to him. You see he just looks over across towards the Empress. She just simply lifts her mug, gives the nod and the tilt of the cup.
Thank you.
As he takes the plate from you and turns towards the other door and will start beginning to eat, but is still watching the entrance as you close the door behind. That kind-hearted nature of yours is kind of why I'm attached to your group. There's quite a few of you who are well-nursed in a kinship mentality, looking out for others, even if they might not completely look out for you.
I'm sorry, my brain shut down. What did you say?
Fair enough. She basically looks at you all and admires your guys' courteousness, informs you all that the main reason why she keeps you guys around is because of that heartfelt notion of you to look out for others. And how that is a trait that she enjoys your company about. Makes it nice to know you care so deeply about others.
I see it this way. I was always taught at a young age, you know, you don't always take. Sometimes you gotta give back and in hopes that somebody's gonna do that for you too when you need it. So why make enemies when you can make friends?
And at such a young age. You take a sip of her drink. Valerie turns to the Empress. Could we not talk about it, miss? Fair enough. We all have our own sets of trauma. You're not the only one who lost their mother at a young age. Guess the only difference is yours was taken by a mysterious stranger in a mask. Mine was taken by my father. You see as she takes a drink of the ale.
Sorry.
Mm.
And Leah starts to begin to fiddle with her hands. I'm sorry for your loss too.
I appreciate the sentiments, but you understand what that type of resentment and anger can lead to. There is a reason I'm not so fond of our current king on the throne. But nonetheless,
Well, dads kind of suck.
that I can attest to. You see, as you say that, she reaches under the table, pulls out 2 wine glasses, and sets them in front of you two. Takes out a bottle, pops the cork, and she herself pours both of you a drink. Sets the bottle down. Looks over to Leah. Leah holds your hand up, but takes a water skin, pours it in a small cup.
Who?
Valerie, dang it, what did I say? What did I say?
Said Leah.
Nope, yep, sorry. Valerie takes a small cup and pours water into it. On the job, I guess. We still have much to discuss for the night. Plans for the future and information we have to gather. You see there's a moment where the Empress almost gives her attention to something else. Gives another smile. Looks down to the floor. I guess you're hungry too. Come on out. You watch as the shadows begin to extend from the chair below her as it feels the room almost in darkness before it settles and standing above you all. In a somewhat crouched position, but still massive in size, where his body is already still leaning over the table, you see a Xanagar appears. Looks towards you all.
You're...
If we're not already sitting, Una sits down.
You guys have 2 stools to sit down upon. You see as Xanagar looks towards the platter of the catering tray of lasagna as he points and asks,
Go ahead. She'll scoot the... I'm assuming the platter is on the table. She'll scoot it towards him.
as you scoot it towards him, he pulls it towards him closer, and you see just as his mouth begins to open, come on, dear, we're not alone, show some manners.
Yes, Mama.
Goes over and you see, grabs a fork. In his hands, this fork is very small. You see he's being very particular on not using his claws, but the fleshy fur part of his fingers, and begins to slowly eat from the actual tray itself. As he slowly eats, he begins to keep on eating more and more. A pleased look on his face as he enjoys the meal. Raising this boy has been an experiencing eye-opener. One that I hold my crew to so tightly. See, family should not desert each other. Family should not betray each other. And I've been holding on to that notion for my entire career, ruling the Undercity of the Platinum Star. It's kind of how I found the both of you.
How she abandoned her family.
It's kind of how I look at the both of you now. One who was a candidate to join as my poisoneer, but has sparked up an interest beyond just a simple extra person to roam around the darkness. And another informant who, although they might need something in return, might make it a good addition to the team. And also caught the eye of one of my best saleswomen. Looks over to Valerie as Valerie just drinks the water, holding her posture well. mission at the forefront of this. I should remind you both that we are able to enjoy ourselves, but at the same time, this is a mission. Keep an eye on those royals, make sure nothing happens to that family. The other connection we have to the Feywild as protection for this city. On top of that, make sure that Timothy fellow keeps himself out of trouble. Be surprised what small trickeries and sneakiness can upset the wrong person.
Yeah, I think keeping Timothy out of trouble is going to be the most challenging part of the mission.
I look at Una, though. We've done a pretty good job so far, though.
Yeah, that's true.
To your chuckle to yourself. So you say. Takes another
Not always
drink of ale.
easy.
Oh, I highly doubt it. That sucker can almost take over a room in an instant.
You have to give him some credit, though. It's part of his charm. And I kind of shrug my shoulders like, it's like wrangling a toddler.
Well, that toddler did subdue and seduce a dragon, so he has his mannish charms about him. Gave that bumpkin of mine, that's king a purpose, from bar drunk back to the throne. So, you know, not completely extravagant with his demeanor.
He did manage that in a record time.
But at the same time, he's a very sweet man. And I mean, I'm again, I don't want to talk about it, but he's a very good friend, especially when you need one. Just a little rough around the edges sometimes, that's all.
I can see that. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't enjoy teasing the man. He's very easy to do so. Gets upset at almost everything, especially when you insult that dragon of his. So, besides the appreciation of a lovely meal, was there something y'all needed from me?
I take too kindly to the dried fish and thought you'd appreciate a little slice of heaven. I know I sure did, and Una could whip up a meal.
That I'm finding out firsthand. You see, as she, like, uses the fork to take another piece, as she eats it, she just makes almost a deadpan eye contact with you. The very borderline of not knowing if it is playfulness or true attempting at flirting. Don't know, it's that teasing borderline of just hard to read true intentions behind it.
Una's just gonna smirk and go, well, it helps when you can grow the vegetables yourself and have them fresh.
He, like, playfully waves the fork towards your direction. Indeed. Fresh ingredients are well needed for every recipe. So I guess I should be more fresh with you all. Right now, you're in a position where I quite enjoy your company. Despite the mishap that happened a few days ago of testing my patience, I understand that tensions were high on all party members, so I've done my deal of punishing you all. Looks over to Valerie, remembering the display that she made. Looking back to the two of you. And I understand that there are sometimes I can get a little extra. But I do that with the notion of knowing that I need to make sure my people know I can stand my ground when people try and test me, intentional or not.
Is she referring to that moment at the
one where she
casino?
dragged out a illusionary version of Valerie and proceeded to torture her in front of the two of you.
That's what I thought. What I thought.
But now
It
that
kinda,
we're at
like,
this
winces
point,
up the memory.
is at this point now that our journey is solidified that I feel like I can let bygones be complete bygones. No point in holding a grudge against people who are kind enough to bring you a meal, especially one that is not poisoned. So,
Did you think that we would try that, or has somebody attempted to do that before?
plenty of times in the past.
Also, to be fair, I am a poisoneer.
Fair.
Still, like I said, it'd be rude if not to try, but it's no you think better of me than most people. She takes another bite of food. So,
Well, I do want to stay on your good side for one reason.
ooh, what would those reasons be?
And it just kind of laughs.
Kind of like nudges Una. Like, tell her.
I don't think Leah knows that Una. Does the party know?
Can I tell with her passive insight
I
of
would
15?
I would say if you were trying to keep this hidden, make a deception check. Leah, you're gonna make an insight check nonetheless. Either you make a deception check of trying to deceive people, or a performance check to see how well you can keep yourself composed when speaking with her. I will let you decide.
More considering throughout like the entire adventure.
A dirty 20 with advantage? Oh wait!
No,
wait!
with
Wait!
advantage.
Wait!
I'm waiting.
Wait! I'm gonna whisper in. Wait! What did Una just say?
Una said nothing.
I asked if like throughout the whole campaign. I don't.
You
know if Una would admit it.
haven't physically told any of your group flattened out that you're interested in her. It was an above table conversation we've had for multiple sessions. In game, you haven't really told anyone besides Elian.
Yeah. And we haven't had many
Truth telling the
whole
entire
party.
time too.
Who?
I've been wearing my ring of truth telling the entire time.
Ooh, you actually do have advantage on insight for these type of conversations. Yeah, so roll with advantage if you want.
I don't think Una is necessarily gonna hide it.
Okay.
Because if she gets her way, it's gonna be pretty obvious when she's not coming back to the room she shares with Delphi.
Fair enough. Leah?
I have a dirty 20 with advantage because of my ring of truth telling.
Thanks for the follow. Dirty 20, you're able to see that when the Empress takes a bite of the food and makes eye contact, that borderline difficulty, even with the dirty 20, looking at the Empress, Leah, you have a hard time telling if this is flirtation or her just teasing. But when you look at Una, you see the eye contact she returns does not break. And you're wondering is this what you think it is? And as you look at Valerie, there is that same moment that you two share of looking at each other. And it might click. as the Empress finishes off the last of the lasagna on her plate. Takes a handkerchief and gently wipes her face. The platter almost completely finished from Xanagar's points, leaving only a very sloppy square left as the Empress looks over. Yeah, that's enough for now, just in case they want to take someone to someone else. We do have a very important guest riding alongside our waves.
Yes, ma'am.
As you see him lick his lips, look over to you, Una, has that smile on his face.
Thank you for the meal.
Anytime.
As he then begins to sink back into the shadows under the chair of the Empress. You see as the Empress takes a knife and begins to gently cut and make a more refined version of the leftover square, scraping off of the excess parts to be given to another individual, as she then slides over the platter to you. I want to share this last also with our lovely god. Getting better understanding tastes. Let her have a taste of the city.
It's a good idea.
Valerie, she looks over to her as Valerie sits up, perks up a little more and holds the cup. Yes, ma'am? Out of curiosity, are you going to be having extra guests in your room tonight?
Widen.
You see as Valerie's eyes go from a quickened shock to a quickened, wrapped, and composed. I wouldn't mind having company to enjoy the night of gambling and conversation, whatever that may lead to, but that will be up to the other individual. Looks over to Yulia.
It's been a long
She'd
time
love to.
since I.
Very nice. Do mind you, these walls are kind of thin being on a ship and all, so make the excitement of winning a little on the lower tone if you don't mind.
Leah
Yeah.
mutters under her breath, "Oh my god."
The Empress does need her beauty sleep.
That won't be a problem.
Hold on. Let me look at the map. Leah had her own room, right? From the 4?
From the 4, yes.
Yeah, my bag is still down there.
If the Empress doesn't have her own room, then Una might be commandeering that room.
We'll keep that on the back burner. As she says this, she looks across the table at the both of you. Is there any discussions that you wish to have before we call it an evening?
I asked Una, is there anything else that you wish to discuss with the Empress? And she kind of fiddles with her ring a little bit.
What does the ring do exactly?
It
Does
tells
it
me
You-
if you're being honest.
Uno,
But you don't know that.
You don't know, but the ring of truth telling helps her know when people are lying or holding back information. It gives her advantage on insight checks, essentially.
Give me I'm sorry, my brain is so slow today. Give me a moment to think about what I want to say.
Okay. The Empress looks over to Valerie. Val, if you wish, feel free to show her what your quarters look like. See if it's comfortable in there. You see as Valerie just almost not embarrassed, but definitely slightly blushing. Ma'am, I appreciate if you didn't tease too much. We're on a journey. Oh, but of course, dear. What's a journey without a little fun in the background?
Blushing.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Ma'am.
Would you like to see where I'm staying tonight?
Ma'am.
She gets up, drinks the last of her water, and walks you over to a secondary door. Move inside, you are able to enter and see a nice simple room, much like your own. There is a section where books are lining the wall. Bag already neatly placed next to the bed, and you see that there's already a table that has been scooted toward the center-ish of the room, where cards have already been laid out and a bag of coin has been set on the table. You see as she turns around. I was originally intending to pass the time with the Leonin out there. But now that you're here, I have someone else to keep me company.
So bold. I'm not exactly confident that he can deal a good hand.
It's more of sympathy for the guy. The Empress has been kind of cold to him. I believe he's new, but I don't know his story completely yet.
How?
My
You cut out.
You did cut out. Yeah,
Oh.
You did,
I,
yes.
I asked how new.
that's what I kind of assumed, but as you ask, you see as she recalls. Freshest I've seen him has been roughly close to a week ago now. It was weird, even though he showed up, the Empress kind of dragged him in on her dealings, but just treated him somewhat harshly. More than she treats others.
He came to you?
To the Obsidian Rock. To the crew that we have. He was,
I didn't think that's how you did it, though.
we don't usually. But she seemed to... Well, I guess I could say he seemed to owe her a favor, and she was very willing to cash it in for its full price. He's been no offense to his lineage, dragged around kind of like a dog. Chain. So I was gonna see if I can lighten the mood with him on his journey, give him something to decompress. Maybe grab a little of his background story, see what I can learn, but that can wait for another time. We have 10 days. I can simply spend my time with you now.
True. If there's anything that I can do to try and lighten the mood with them, maybe give them a hand or something if you guys need, just let me know.
I don't know. If you ever have a chance to talk to him yourself and you were able to gather any information, that probably would be helpful just to know about the guy. I'm being completely honest. She hasn't really called him by his name. I don't know it. Anytime anyone else approaches him at the casino, he would just always clam up and do what he's told. He only ever responds to the Empress.
I can do my best. You know me. I read you like a book, didn't I?
I read you pretty well as well.
You did. You did. Well, maybe together we can solve the mystery. figure out who he is and who you got standing between these walls.
Would definitely help out knowing who's here.
You deal?
Love to. As you guys begin to sit behind, side by side on the table as she begins to deal out a deck of cards. Luna, do you know what you...
Yeah, so she asked,
Are there any further questions you have for her?
Yeah. And Una will say, I don't have any further questions, no, but I wouldn't mind some company.
Make a persuasion check.
Give me 1 second. What's the +1 to the skill check do again? If I do it just once, I don't get a point of exhaustion?
If you do it 3 times, on the 3rd, you'll get a point of exhaustion.
Okay, I'll do it just the once. That's for a total of 17.
Roll for insight because I was using the ring.
You're not in the room
You're not
anymore.
in the room.
I thought she said that when I was still sitting next to her because I asked her.
No, the Empress asked.
No, I asked.
You didn't ask if we had any other questions.
No,
Well,
I did.
she repeated, so the Empress asked, Leah repeated, looking to you.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I asked you specifically if there was anything else that you wanted to ask the Empress before he left.
Oh, well, I still say the same thing.
Okay.
Do I roll insight with the advantage on
Who
it?
are you looking
See
at?
what I can tell. I was looking at Una. Before, like this, I was thinking that she said that before I walked away with Valerie.
You'll say, like, as you and Valerie are getting ready to walk, she says this to the Empress, so you'll be able to make your insight before entering the room with Val. Go ahead and make... the insight check was what now?
My insight check has advantage +5, and I rolled a nat 20 on it.
What intentions is Leah able to get off of the glimpse that Una has in mind?
Una would really like some company from the Empress.
Or Leah left, then she's gonna just kind of turn around and look at Una with a I'm going here. Shoot your shot.
As you guys enter in your room, as the door closes, separating Valerie's room from this main captain's quarters, there is a moment where you hear, or you think you hear a second door close. I'm not entirely sure. From behind you. Look to the door is still closed. Don't mind that, dear. Guests just seem to have departed.
I see. I'm assuming... this is above table. I'm assuming Xanagar is left.
That's an assumption, yeah.
God damn it. Well... He's an adult.
Indeed.
Your shot.
I said it above table. I didn't say it to her.
Yeah. Okay. As the Empress does look to you after the last comment you made of Black and Company, with a 17 to your persuasion, she looks to you and there is a recognition. You can almost see that there's an acknowledgement of the true meaning behind the request. We can further conversations for now. She stands up and begins to head to her side of the room, the door already slightly cracked open as she opens it entirely.
I'll follow her.
Entering inside, you see a more elegant, massive, queen-size bed compared to the small single bed in most of the other rooms. Dresser already lined with, surprisingly, a couple stacks of crates. You see there is one crate that is already cracked open, and there are assortment of magic items inside. Potions, some arrows, a couple of magic weapons even. And as you enter inside, you see as the Empress gives a small little whistle, and you see the shadow move past your feet out into the main hallway as the door closes behind the two of you in here.
Okay.
So what is it you wanted to talk about, dear?
Well, I feel like I have made it somewhat obvious.
I know I'm having you roll a lot. Go ahead and make an insight check after that statement to her.
God damn it. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
All right.
God damn it. That was a 10.
As you look, she stares at a small head mirror above the dresser that she's staring, and you're only able to get a glimpse. Not able to get a full look, but something definitely seems not off, but she turns to you, not in her business manner, but a more serious tone as she stares at you, almost like if some type of wall was just built. Dear, you do know the dangerous work I'd partake in. Leads me to do things that others will find not even morally questioned, but just straight out villainous. A fairy friend could attest to that, as he likes to point out from now and then. And although I do drag you in on my endeavors for your skills, at this point you can still deny accountability. That is how I make it for the people I care about. I make sure they will not get in trouble. But to do that, I have to keep people at a certain distance for their safety, but long for my own.
I'm aware that you partake in things that I avoid partaking in. Elian is aware too, obviously.
She is a clever girl.
But I also know something of sometimes someone has to be the one who makes the hard decisions. sometimes the hard decision is the thing that makes true progress happen.
She turns and completely faces you. The notion and sentiment is truly... I truly appreciate. She takes the back of her hand and rubs it across her cheek, pushing your hair back behind your ear. Do you truly understand what that means, dear? It means I can very well be your death, whether I intend it or not. Darkness isn't a place where light can even begin to try and shine. For when it does, the darkness has no choice but to cower away. As much as I like this...
I would craft some kind of glowing flower. I can make my own light.
She moves her hands around yours with the flower. But when you create that light, the darkness has two options, dear. To let that light shine its beautiful luminescence, as she then uses her hand to cover it, or to snuff it out so that it can continue to exist for its purpose. I do not wish to snuff your light out, dear. I am darkness. It is the role I choose to be, so that the light may go unabated, unbothered, and shine beautifully. That means I can't partake in it.
Give me a moment to think.
Roka, thank you for the subscription. Is it this late evening that the rest of you, if you wish, could either head to your individual rooms?
Delphi fell asleep reading books. And she's like amongst the small stack of small books. In the corner right there. Snoozing. So.
Delphi, as you lay next to the books, Timothy, do you make it obvious or just quietly do it as you find her sleeping in the library? Timothy returns the book. He was invisible doing things, but in the meantime, he finds you in the library, returns the book, has not read it, but returns the book to you quietly to let you rest, and he returns to his room.
Okay.
Sanjiro, where do you head out for this late evening?
I'm gonna go find a hammock and just call it there.
All right, heading back to the deck, going to the hammock locations where you don't see any other fish folk in the area. But you go inside, Hammocks are free. You're able to pick whatever one that you find most comfortable, and you're able to rest. Durant?
EP time.
Head back into your room and find your place of rest. Una, do you know what you wish to say to the Empress?
Yeah. She's gonna, like, use one hand to cup the Empress's face and say, darkness and shadow can't exist without light. Besides, I'm not unfamiliar with living in the darkness.
She takes a step inward, and you can feel almost a warmth to just her presence. She looks nowhere but into your eyes. Are you truly okay with living in the dark?
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Could you say the same about your partner?
I pull out the sending stone. You can ask her yourself if you'd like.
See her chuckle. I have a feeling that I'm the one out of the loop here. Is this what you two want?
Yes. We've discussed it.
How bold. You see her take off her hat and sets it down onto cabinets with the mirror. Her black flowed hair goes down to her shoulders. I guess I have one question for you, Una.
Yes.
Do you mind staying in the dark with me for a while?
Not at all.
You see as she raises her hands, not towards you, but towards the lantern light in the room. And for the first time ever, you see as magic leaves her fingertips. Arcane in nature, but you see that there is a darkened radiance to it as the shadows wrap around the lights and encumber you in a surprising, gentle darkness.
Good thing I got dark vision.
Leah and Valerie.
Hold on, I just want to clarify. I know how to include Elian in this. We try and turn the sending stone into a speakerphone.
That's
Oh my lord.
damn.
Oh my.
Every hotel got the alien chair.
Okay.
That's one way to have it. Put her in the
I'm working with
corner.
what I have.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. That's fine. All right. Sure. Yeah. Separate roll. Completely different. Don't worry about it. Poor guy. Anyway,
What?
nothing. It literally has nothing to do with you, Alien, or the Empress. These rooms' walls are thin. Valerie and Leah. As you guys spend the first part of your motions having fun, playfully gambling with each other, any conversations? Do you believe there would be any conversations that take over before a night of rest between the two of you?
Playful banter, back and forth. Maybe some sly comments, or just like little playfulness. I don't know if Leah, given everything that's happened in the past 24 hours, Leah's looking to stay the night the way that Valerie thinks that she is, though. Just being close to her is enough for her in this moment. So she's kind of showing that she's still guarded, especially with her mind being so busy.
Indeed. And Valerie does pick up on it. Does respect that boundary, and although nothing has to happen, she is just happy to have you next to her throughout the night if you wish.
She'll curl up with Valerie, and she'll want to slightly brush her thumb against her hand, but there's a slight hesitation of I want to be close to you, but there's that uneasy feeling of I don't want to be close to anybody though, because she's been hurt. But it's a constant back and forth motion that Leah's giving off.
Val will consciously be aware and adjusts, changes as need be, and just gives comfort as what comfort wants to be given from your end. Tossing and turning however you need, and always like water, wanting to make sure it is comfortable. This notion. Supportive. If you stay, the rest will be yours to have together.
After a while of tossing and turning and feeling her reassurance, Leah will kind of pull her in a little bit closer and curl up next to her and finally find comfort and be able to fall asleep.
As rest, one by one, reaches everyone for the first day's journey. Morning sun will begin to crest, the lights hitting the back of the ship. Some lantern lights in individual rooms begin to glow with arcane, gentle brightness to arise each of you one by one, calmly. Whoever wishes to partake in breakfast first, as the smell of freshly baked biscuits, warm breading begins to fill the interior of the bottom of the ship, closest to the kitchen.
Timothy will be there.
You see there are assortments of jams laid out with different toasts and sweetbreads that were freshly made by the current cook of the area.
Okay.
It takes a while before the smell of freshly made bread begins to reach the upper surfaces through the gaps of wood. Yeah, but I'd say it's for a good enough reason. Until it reaches Valindra and Sanjiro. Valindra will head down and begin to partake of breakfast. Sanjiro, do you head down to have a morning meal?
Gyro, are you muted?
I'm back. Yeah. I'll go down.
Okay.
I was up. I was doing something.
Yeah. You head down for some breakfast. You see that's Durant. Have you woken up for breakfast as well?
Sure, why not?
Delphi.
Yes. Groggily, because I didn't sleep very well on the floor.
That's fair.
Stumble into the room and sit down with my book. Sit down in the corner and I lay my head down on the table.
Very well. As you lay there, food is being brought one by one. I would say, due to night events, Leah and Val will be first to wake up from the upper deck, before Una and the Empress. You guys have a very distant smell of freshly made toast getting ready to barely seep into the room.
I will look at Valerie and well, she'll turn over and
You see she is
Kind of
already
like-
up and just staring at you, unmoving. Smile on her face greets you.
damn it, talk. You took the words out of my mouth. I lightly run my fingers through her hair, and I whisper, "Good morning."
Morning. Did you sleep well?
Sleep. Maybe. Did you?
I did.
Definitely better than those hammocks down the hallway.
There's hammocks down the hall.
Yeah, nobody told me they were for the crew. Don't judge me. I may have fallen asleep in one when we first got on the boat.
I mean, they do sound comfortable.
Yeah, they kind of smell a little, though, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no.
A little like seawater.
That's to be expected out in the ocean. As long as it wasn't fishy, that'd be a little extra. No offense
Leah
to the
kind of
guests.
looks off to the Leah looks off to the side. I think they sleep in them.
Well, right now I'm smelling something fresh being cooked. Would you like to go down for some breakfast?
I would, but I have to ask you a question.
What is it?
Can you keep a secret?
You see her face perks in curiosity. Can. Better than most.
Okay. You asked me last night for help, right?
Of course.
I think I have a way to get that man's name. But if you're coming down with me, I'm gonna need some help.
You see her face gets supportively stern in agreement, almost in just a look. What do I need to do?
Here all night, making a contract. Follow my lead.
Very well.
I'm gonna kind of usher Valerie to follow me, and as we're walking out the door, I'm gonna begin to kind of fiddle with my pouch a little bit. As we're walking past the Leonin.
As you
Just
head
so
out,
he can see it.
as you exit into the hall, you notice the tray of the one sliced lasagna is still left on the table, which means it was never taken out. You head past the Leonin, and as the door opens, you see he is still standing at attention. You see there are signs of bags under his eyes, like if he did not sleep. As he looks back to you.
So, Valerie, just to be clear, I'm to report back to you in how many days?
What are you referring to?
And I keep walking past the Leonin as I'm having this discussion with her, and I'm fiddling with my bag a little bit, and I take out a handful of my magical coins, and I'm like kind of playing with them in my hand. Like she gave them to me, kind of playing with them, like this is my payment. So I'm to report back to you in just a couple of days, with whatever information I'm able to gather about our friend. And I look at her like this.
Indeed. Any information you can gather.
As I pass him, I very sloppily place them back into my pouch and drop one on the floor. And I give her a look like, don't touch it.
Make a sleight of hand check. And hopefully this one's not too serious.
15 plus 6.
As you 15 plus 6, 21. Very nice. As you drop the coin hits the wood and has a small clatter, but you and Valerie, picking up on what you are putting down, both ignore it and begin to walk further down the hall. As you reach the end of the door, Valerie right behind you.
Ma'am.
I turn around and I look.
You see as he bends over and with his claws picks up the coin, lifts it towards you.
You drop this.
Dead? I'm sorry, I did?
He heard, and it's almost like he just grunts in acknowledgments, doesn't speak.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name. What is it?
Make an insight check. Or a perception. I'll let you choose.
Plus 8.
19 plus 8?
17 plus 8?
17 plus 8, okay. 25, okay. You see, which you use perception or insight?
Perception.
With perception, you see physically, he opens his mouth wanting to speak.
Wait. Stop. Ring of truth. 17 plus 5 with advantage.
Okay, so you're gonna do an insight instead then.
Yes.
Alright, so go ahead and roll again, see what you have get advantage.
Advantage. Wait, is that a I'm sorry.
You take the
20
higher.
As well?
Yeah, it's a d20, you take the higher. Right now your highest is a 17.
Ooh, 19.
19 plus your 8?
5.
Oh, plus 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because insight. Okay, so that's 24. Still good, still great. You see as he from an insight perspective, you look at his face as his eyes slowly widen, still tired under as he has not slept. The initial look as if someone's getting ready to give their name, but then stops. Before you see the look of a defeat, much like a caged animal has, knowing he's not to step out of line. And as that expression goes over, he does not reply, but simply holds out the coin in his claws towards you. Valerie looks to you with an idea as she like raises an eyebrow as if she can take over.
Gives her a slight nod.
As Valerie looks back to you, I believe she asked for your name, and as you are serving under the Empress as one of her most trusted advisors, those who help with individuals like you, you shall give her your name.
Leo. Just Leo.
With your insights, you can tell immediately it's a lie, but a lie
Can't
that he
lie.
has to push through.
Oh.
You see as Valerie turns to you as if you've gotten any information that you could have from this.
Give her a. It's something's not right. Kind of look.
And a concerned look comes over her face, knowing she can't push much further without causing suspicion. How do you proceed?
I'm just gonna wave my hand up and say, "It's okay. Honesty goes a long way with me."
As you say this, you turn towards the door to continue to head towards breakfast.
Yes.
As you turn towards the door and making that comment, you once again see that insight of someone wishing to speak but immediately unable to. The eyes not widening in shock, but almost the pupils widen in the intensity of wanting to speak, but you see the eyes go almost dead as unable to. And in defeat, he stands there, coin in hand, unable to answer as you walk out the door.
Right outside the door and look and
Valerie closes the door behind her. I don't think he's just a simple person.
I have nothing for you, Valerie.
From what I know of those that serve under the Empress, they all serve in a sense of volunteer. They are all have some reason or another to serve under her. But the essence I got from him is that he is suffering, I guess. I don't think
He's at the
he...
hands of someone's mercy. It has to be.
I think it might be the Empress's. And the only way I can see that being a thing is if he's under a deal of hers. And he's forced to make payment. With this in mind, I'm taking a census from the group. is this a good place to end the session?
I wanted to keep going, but if you want to end, it's up to you.
It's already 9 my end, which means it is close to like 11 to midnight towards others, so I'm being considerate.
It's midnight for us.
Yeah.
Lily, how do you feel being midnight?
This is an okay place to end.
Yeah, I'm okay to end too.
Yeah, the cliffhanger of knowing that this Leonin individual is
freaking
bound
Goldpaw.
by a deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was hoping to get out of him, was the confirmation that it was Goldpaw.
A heavy suspicion in theory from friends.
Did Leah ever actually meet Goldpaw?
Leah
No.
has not ever met the captain of the Enforcers.
No, I just wanted his name because I agreed with Valerie that we would figure out who this guy is, but above board, I wanted confirmation that it was Goldpaw.
And now he is with the coin that you have. And if I remember correctly, that coin has a magical effect to it.
We don't know what the magical effect is when it's spent. I just know that it becomes invaluable to me when I take it back. Goldpaw, then, I mean, is it necessarily going to be negative if he goes to spend it? Or if he gives it to somebody else and gets the truth out of them, is it necessarily a bad thing? Did I just did I do a bad thing?
Well,
did I do a bad thing?
No. So
did I do a good thing?
The effects.
What's the effect?
The magical effect of someone taking the coin. As you turn and leave, as the door shuts, the name that he gave you of Leo almost forcibly out of his mouth, knowing it's a lie. Do you use the gold given to him?
What?
You feel, in essence, as he takes one of the magic coins that he picks up, and you almost feel like you can request information of him, whether it be knowing where that gold coin is or the name of who has the coin.
You cut out again.
You didn't tell me that before when I gave it. Wait, hello, testing. Can
There
you
you
hear
are.
me?
There you are.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I can do that.
You feel a sudden ability, as this is the first person besides Duran who offered information. You can gain information of whoever has this coin one time. A bribery of a sense. But this power, this magic, is the first time you've truly felt this, so what information do you draw from whoever holds the coin?
Wait, hold on. Can I get a poll in chat?
I don't know how to do a poll off the fly, but basically, if you want to sense this,
a poll amongst the party.
Mods.
What do we want to know about him amongst the party? If you're thinking it's Goldpaw, do we want confirmation that's his name, or if you're thinking it's him, like what do you want me to ask for? What is your genie wish?
I want name.
You want the name?
I want name.
Delphi?
Name.
What if his name is like Derek or something? That could easily be like a.
Magic genie in the bottle. Can I get this man's name?
you feel the essence of the magic coin draw to you, and without him saying a word, almost like if you are given the information from his mind directly to yours. Clear from the obstructity of that slash on his throat, bribing the information from his mind itself directly into yours. Valerie giving no indication that you gain this new knowledge. You simply hear.
Captain Prowler, Goldpaw.
And that is a very interesting place to end the session at.
Yes. Now I'm fine with it.
Oh boy! I forgot about the second half of that item.
You made that item.
I made it, and I always know that after a week, the player can roll a d6 dice and multiply that by 100 gold, and once per week for 3 times, they get that much more gold that they can bribe information to whoever she gives it to. And when the gold is taken by an other, whether mercenary, warrior, or however she gives the gold out, the gold is replaced by info revealing the user's location, name, or info.
Wait, so I can't, but I never pulled any information from Durant.
Because he gave it willingly. And so that magic never felt like it was needing to be drawn out. But the bribe was paid, essentially. The money acts like a bribe, but it's unwilling information that they don't know. It is a instant they take your money, you get information you need.
I dropped it, it became unwilling money. Nice.
No, because he asked you. He said, is this yours? And you basically waved it off as he can keep it. So he then took it, kept it, and that information is yours to have. The gold, however, from his perspective, just turned to ash in his hand, which is very confusing. But you got your information. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. It's Captain Goldpaw.
And so far, the only people who still know it is Leah.
And
the only person who
other.
knows it doesn't in game know the significance of that information, other than her wanted girlfriend needing to know it. So she has no clue that the rest of us are curious about it.
There is one other person who has an idea and a very good reason to guess. But he has been keeping that information to himself.
You know I'm gonna run back and tell you guys anyway. Like, why would this guy be lying about who he is?
Why would you, if you didn't think that information was privy to us?
Because I tell you guys
other than to Meta.
I will tell you right now, due to a history check alone of living inside the city, Captain Prowler Goldpaw is the head captain of the Enforcers. That is like hearing if Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger was spotted dining in your coffee shop. News will spread quickly. You know who that is. Even though if you might not know who that is, you know who that is. It is a head influencing person. She's never met the guy, I'll tell you that much. But the name does carry weight. Especially in the criminal organization, you want to avoid that guy at all costs.
And I mean, she was on the run, so.
And she was on the run. Man on the run. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen.
Probably heard the name.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this very sudden twist, romance, love, a chance to see what happens next, and a very apparently intricate phone call. Please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification. We're gonna talk after, but anyway. Hit that bell notifications to know whenever we upload, because we upload whenever I have time to edit these videos. I edit my own videos, so it takes time, but hopefully I can get them out sooner. In the meantime, go support and watch these sessions live at twitch.tv/TOGplay, where you're able to help out the characters with inspiration, giving them pluses to skill checks, or disadvantage towards enemies if that ever comes to it. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a lovely evening and a good night, and we'll see you all in the next video. Have a good night.